Once again, it's Tuesday. Thank you for joining A Toast to the Men with S.D. Booker. Thank you. You could be anywhere right now, but you decided to join me, and I appreciate it. Again, like I said, it's Tuesday. We got Pheonix Rising visits S.D. Let's bring her on. Pheonix, how's it going?
Good, good. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How's your week been or your weekend? How was your weekend and your week so far?
It's been awesome. I'm a new grandma, so it's been awesome. Or
That's right.
another another time grandma, not new, but
Right. That's right. A granddaughter. So congratulations on that.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
awesome.
So anybody getting any sleep around her?
She's not doing too bad actually. I think she's doing, okay. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's definitely a blessing and a reason to celebrate.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, just a heads up, Phoenix did warn me that they're rowdy today. The grandchildren are rowdy, four of them. I know how that can be with God kids. I don't have any small kids, but with God kids, I know how that can be.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen, regardless. So we will not muzzle the little ones,
Okay.
or attempt. I don't know if it's possible though. So we'll make do though. But we got a lot to talk about. Uh, as we go on, I want to start digging deeper on the topics and really get to the heart of some things. And what Tuesdays are to me is a time to reflect, dissect, analyze, and heal. Try to heal uh, people who tune in. Try to answer some questions or ask questions because we don't have all the answers.
Mhm. Definitely.
So, and some of this, y'all, we're just gonna figure out as we go. We don't have a meeting beforehand. I'll give her some topics. She'll give me some topics, suggest some things, and we just go at it. So yeah, we don't huddle. We don't put our
Yeah,
heads
you just
together.
throw things right at me at the last minute, right?
Yeah. Well, I want it
Hey,
to be
that's
organic.
fine too.
Yeah, I want
Absolutely.
I want it to be organic, and it's
Mhm.
okay. It's okay to say, I don't know, or I hadn't thought
Yeah,
about that,
right.
or let's think on that. You know, yeah. I mean, we're not in a rush. I think last week we went over 2 hours, close to 2 hours and 30 minutes, and a lot of that was just us asking each other questions,
Mhm.
because we didn't have the answer on a
Yeah.
couple of things, and that's okay. Yeah. So the first topic I want to get into is the value of being born a boy or a girl, and are they valued differently at birth and in adulthood? Now, I'll go first. You seem kind of nervous over there.
No, I'm not nervous. I'm just thinking this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I'll go first. I do think they're valued differently. Um, I do think so. Um, we'll take a country. We'll go to an extreme situation, right? We'll take a country like China at one time. I don't know if they still practice this, but at one time they can only have, I believe, two children. The people can only have two children, and they were pushing for boys. They didn't
Mhm.
want. They were pushing against having girls,
Right.
right? And I don't know if they still practice that. Someone in the chat can comment. Like I said, we don't. we just kind of freestyle it. So someone in the chat can comment if they still practice that, China. But I believe the reason for that is when you're trying to build a country and limit liabilities, and I'll get into that before someone says women are a liability. I'll get into that. When you're trying to rebuild a country, limit liabilities, and prepare for war also if it has to come to that. You want your strongest at the forefront, and you want to limit. things that are going out, resources that are going out. Um, and so I think China was doing that because females naturally do require a lot of covering. They require protection. Um, and if you have a situation, man, you got some people that kind of have five, six kids, all girls. Now, if you're trying to rebuild a country and rebuild a military, that really doesn't help that country as far as the military. And a lot of resources are going out to protect the female. You know, a female is designed to receive and also give back, but they receive. That's why women love to receive things. That's how they're wired. Men are natural givers. They love to give. We like to receive too, but we like to plant seeds, give. The woman incubates that, maternal, uh, protects that, incubates it, and gives it back to the world. But in China's case, I think they were doing that, like I said, to rebuild the country on the military front end, and they wanted their strongest out there with little liabilities. And so I think men are valued from that aspect, what they can give, what they can give. Um, and a lot of men, that's frustrating for, but that's just the way it is. Another thing I want to touch on is I've noticed that girls can go from girlhood or childhood and then womanhood, and they're recognized immediately as a woman. Immediately as a woman. As soon as they hit that switch that they're in womanhood, they're recognized and respected as a woman. There's no in between. There's no gray area. She was a girl, now she's a woman. With men, there's a process that has to be earned to be respected as a man. Women will even tell a man, you're not a real man because of XYZ. There's always the question, what is a real man? That's never the question for the woman. What is a real woman? She's just automatically valued as a woman as soon as she hits that stage. A man could be 60 years old and not respected as a man, still be considered a boy, like because he hasn't earned the right to be called a man. We have to go through a process. It just is. Um, Even the Bible says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I thought as a child, I reasoned as a child. But when I became a man, I thought, reasoned, and spake as a man. That means there's a process. There's not a switch that just goes on just because you're 17 or 18 that you're respected as a man. No, it's what have you done? Do you have value? Are you in a position to give? But a woman, I think, is just automatically respected as a woman when she can give birth. That's a woman. It's no process. She's valued immediately. Uh, and I think that's the difference. I really do. So we both have value, but we're valued differently. And I don't know if that's the wrong thing. I just think that's the way we're designed. Um, and it may be because some people feel, I've heard this, females mature faster. Now, is that biologically, physically mature faster, or mentally, psychologically? Because I can argue that, you know. So I don't know, but I think there is a lot of pressure on boys to be respected as a man. I've seen situations where women, grown women in their 40s or 30s, still live with their parents or their mother. Maybe the father's died, and no one frowns upon that. No one frowns upon it. I've known a woman that lived with her mother. She was like 40. Mom was like 70. The mom wasn't, needed her help or anything. She's never moved, and she worked. She was responsible in working. Provided for herself, but she lived with her mom. I just met a young girl maybe 2 or 3 years ago that told me she just moved out of her mom's house after you know turning, I think, 33. But she was responsible as far as taking care of herself and keeping a job. So these aren't lazy women. I don't want anybody to think that. But my point is, regardless of if a man is not lazy or if he has a job, he rides a good car, whatever. If a man is still living, or a male is still living with his mom at 33 or 40, he is not respected. And there will be a group of women saying you're not a real man. It will be questioned. But there's no question marks around these women living with their mom or their parents at a late age. And I think it's natural for us to okay that. I don't have a problem with it. It is what it is. I hate that saying, but in this case, it is what it is. And I think that supports my opinion that men have to earn. They have to go through a process and be tried and tested and earn that title of manhood, opposed to women. Uh, what are your thoughts?
Well, you said a lot of things. Uh, a single woman, I think, is better living with a roommate or mother or something, just because with two of them, there's more safety or protection than there is with just one. That's kind of the bottom line of that I see. Um, we're just made up that way. We're vulnerable alone, a lot more so than a man seems to be. So I think that's maybe where that comes from. But just like there is, there's safety if you have, one or two roommates rather than if you're just trying to hang out by yourself, especially if you're living in a city and things like that. Because at least there's somebody that can, see if somebody's coming to get your back. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So it's kind of that way. The part about the girl maturing faster, I think physically, yes, they do. Physically, they mature faster on some levels. I mean, I grew up with just three brothers, and physically, I was taller and, everything way sooner than they were. Uh, I don't have any idea about mentally, but a woman has to have her faculties in place by the time she, reaches childbearing age because she has to be able to protect the young. So I think by nature, some of those things, especially, the intuitive and some of those have to be in place by that age. So I would say just, watching raising boys and girls, I would say the girls definitely have that a higher intuitive or sense of danger, would you say, or that kind of a thing than the boys do at that age? The boys tend to be a lot more reckless. Let's just say at 18, for example, the girls seem to be a lot more aware of things around them by that time, and the boys are in a really reckless place at that point. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Right.
times. So that's what I would see on that one. And then as far as advantages of being a girl, hmm. I mean, from my side, I grew up with brothers that got to do everything, and I didn't get to do anything. So, I always was like, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. But
It goes
again,
back
it
to
might
that
have been,
safety, though.
yeah, it might have been, yeah, it's true. It might have been the culture too. I don't know. But, the boys always were put way ahead of the girls, whether it was in school or it didn't matter where it was. They were always, put to the forefront. It didn't matter what, so it's probably somewhat of a cultural thing as well. I don't know. I mean, I'm just listening to other people and I'm just like, these guys are saying, oh, women have all these privileges. And I'm just like, wow, well, I haven't seen that in my life. So, I can't speak on it because I don't know. I just haven't seen it. That wasn't the way it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, as far
It's
as
give
as
and
far as
take.
the protection part, yeah, they have. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm just trying to think of some instances. I don't know. What were
Yeah.
you gonna say?
There's benefits. I think being a woman and benefits of being a man also.
Hmm.
I think I think where men get frustrated is a lot of women want their benefits that they naturally inherit but then they want to come over to get some of these benefits the men get too.
Mm-hmm.
And then the men are like, hold up, hold up, hold up. You don't have to do what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had to earn this right to be called a man. Do you understand what I've been through? I had
Right.
to I had to physically fight.
Yeah, I had to get beat up.
I had to mentally fight, spiritually fight, everything. I was not protected like the woman. I had to deal with bullies. You know,
Well, girls do too, though. Girls can be so mean. I mean, that's one thing about it is girls can be cruel to other girls. I mean, like if the guy's gonna beat you up, at least that's physical. But the girls can be, I mean, the most heartless, cruel things to their fellow girls. It's terrible. I mean, it's just
yeah,
like what?
yeah. I think I spoke about this. Girls tend to, uh, and I think it happens in womanhood too, but girls tend to click up and form and that ostracize other girls, and then the
Mm-hmm.
girl wants to be in the cool group, and so it's an emotional torturing going on, and
Yeah,
psychological.
exactly. Totally.
Yeah. Um, with boys, that can happen too, but I also have seen where boys can be in the group, but they still get tested, and
Yeah.
they could be bullied within the group they're in,
Mm-hmm.
like the hanger oner.
Yeah, well, girls can be too. It's like, if you don't meet certain criteria or whatever, then you're just whatever.
But
I don't know.
it doesn't get physical typically though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are some differences. But what do you feel about my take on the female can go from girlhood and automatically into womanhood, and she's respected and valued in that way, where a boy, there's a rite of passage and there's a process he has to go through and things he has to earn to be able to be called and respected as a man.
Hmm. Again, I didn't really see that. That wasn't really in that culture. I didn't really see much of a difference with the boys and girls. The boys basically when they were that age were fairly respected. I mean, I didn't really see so much of a process. In that culture, they allowed the girls to get married when they were 18. The boys had to be 20. So
Why is that?
I guess they deemed them to be kind of not mature enough at 18 because they were rowdy at that time, and they were.
But see, that goes to my point. They had to earn the
They had
right.
to mature. Well, they had to mature.
They
But
had to
again,
show
then
certain
there,
things.
then there were some girls. There were girls that didn't mature, and they weren't allowed to be married until they were mature. It was all about the maturity. They would actually sit down with the parents and they would actually observe the girl and see if they thought she was mature, and if she wasn't. I mean, I knew some of them that they didn't let them get married till they were almost 30 because they didn't mature.
Wow.
So it was kind of on the basis of what they deemed as maturity, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah, I look back at people like my grandmother, people in that era, and before her, where she got married at 14.
Wow.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is a different era. My granddad, my mom's father, uh, I believe he was 17.
Uh-huh.
But this is a different era also. Um, but back then also, and I think we should get back to this, and this supports my theory that females can go and be respected from girlhood to womanhood without there really being a process, and boys have to endure a process to earn the right to be called a man. The father of that girl would say if that boy or that male had value in being a man or a husband.
Yeah.
The mom wouldn't know because the mom is looking at something totally different than the father is looking at,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're looking at two totally different things when they're
Yeah.
sizing up someone, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And then the mom of the son of the young man is to look at or analyze the girl he wants to marry and see where her head is at and if she's valued as a woman. And she's gonna know, son, you're gonna have problems out of her. Or son, y'all gonna fight like cats and dogs. Don't do it. She's gonna know. But I think the father and the mother are looking at two different things. The father's looking at, can he provide? Can he protect? Is he quick intellectually, witty, quick, or is he slow? I think the mother looks at, is she gonna give my son a hard time? Is
Mm-hmm.
she gonna be submissive? Now they won't say submissive most likely, but they want to know, is she gonna bring my son grief
Or
and trouble
peace. Yeah.
or peace?
Yeah.
That's what she wants to know. She doesn't care what kind of job this woman has, what she does for a living. She doesn't care about any of that. Is she going to be peace in my son's life?
Mm-hmm.
That's all she cares about. Where the father is looking at something totally different when he's analyzing the boy. Uh, so once again, it goes back to what the boy can give. I think she got kicked out. So I'll keep it going. Where she goes.
I don't know
Yeah.
what happened. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah. So it goes back to what the boy or the man can provide, and if the woman is in a position to receive, can she receive his seed to bear children? Can she receive his knowledge and wisdom? Can she listen?
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back to that receiving and giving. Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Is there would you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I seen that with the fathers, but the mothers, the son's mother, I never seen. There was never any involvement in that group. It was only between the fathers and the pastor. So I don't know. That's interesting. There was never any. The woman just didn't have any say in any of that. So
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure she would discuss with her husband, behind closed doors, different things. Hmm. But yeah, the father definitely. I mean, the father, was supposed to be asked. He was supposed to be the one asked, if the young man could marry the girl, the daughter. But
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I think we got to get back to that though. But yeah, there's definitely value in being either one. Yeah. But I have heard women say that she wished, and this wasn't anything where she, I don't think that she was struggling with her sexuality, but women said she wished she was a boy
yeah, man, I
because they
used
feel
to,
like
I
they
used
have
to
more
say that.
benefit.
I used to complain to my mom all the time because I didn't get to do anything. I had to sit at home. I had to sit at home, and they got to go fishing and boating and just everything they could do, and I didn't get to do it. And I was just mad because I didn't I didn't have any girls to hang out with. But
Yeah,
yet, I know in seeing other girls that I would learn to know later in other states, I was glad in some ways that I did grow up without really girls around because because the girls would be so mean. I'd learned that they could be so mean, and I'm like, well, I'd rather not deal with that. You know what
right,
I
right, right. Yeah, I've seen some mean girls. I mean, they got a movie about it, Mean Girls. So I definitely understand what
Oh,
you're talking
really?
about. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I definitely understand. But yeah, we got my boy Lone Star Music in the house, and we got Element One Orlando in the house. Element One podcast. Two good brothers. Yeah, Lone Star is from Dallas, Texas. He grew up in my old neighborhood, my childhood neighborhood, Pleasant Grove, and Orlando with Element One podcast has a great podcast, and he'll be coming out with some new content. I believe he said next week. I believe so. Yeah, y'all check that out. Oh yeah, check out Lone Star's page also. This brother's a music producer, talented brother. So I think y'all follow each other, Pheonix. I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah, good brothers. They're in the power circle too, y'all. Join the power circle. Link is in the bio. Um, Second question, and this is something I think this topic is taboo. People don't like to touch it, but I think we need to touch these types of topics to
Yeah.
get an understanding. Now, we don't have all the answers, but it needs to be analyzed. Interracial relationships. Can they be of high frequency? Can they be leaders or the voice of a particular race? What is the upside and downside of the union? So, first off, can they be of high frequency? What are your thoughts?
Well, do you read Song of Solomon? Have you ever read it?
I have. Yes.
There it
Yeah.
is. That's interracial right there. Tells you clearly.
Yeah.
And the thing is how can you say what soul is going to come into what type of a physical body? That's crazy. It's like if you're connected for the right reasons, your soul, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if somebody's pink or purple or white or orange or green. It doesn't matter. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I mean, if it's the soul. And I think that maybe, with all the, just my observation is all the propaganda that's put out has made us, look for the wrong things. We're looking for, so all we're looking at maybe is just the physical, and we don't look at what's underneath. And that I see that run people into a lot of pain and a lot of problems.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
So, what's your thought? What does it matter? Really, what does it matter? It's the soul.
Yeah.
Is the soul on the same frequency? Because that's our true frequency. And
Right.
something interesting is it's all energetic. To me, it's energetic. And I love to look at the energetics of things. Another thing that's interesting to look at is, well, maybe we can get into that when you get into the astrology part, but there's different things to look at rather than astrology. But energetically, we have either the energies are matched and balanced, which I've got some pictures. This is really interesting. I know you've seen these.
No doubt.
So this here is a picture of actual balanced energy. That's the yin yang. And the wings signify spiritual awakening or spiritual flight. Yeah. Now, if you look at it this way, this is where most of us are, is right here. That's called a broken circuit. See the broken circuit? The energy does not continue to flow. It's open on both ends. It's broken. And that has nothing to do with a race or color or anything. It simply has to do with the energetics of the soul, which, again, it's all the balance. Is it balanced? Is the energy, flowing? I just love that, to look at that, because, again, I don't know.
Yeah, and that ironically is the symbol that the medical field uses also.
Well, it's actually originally was the symbol of healing.
Yes.
And so spiritual healing is what it symbolizes with the wings, even though, the medical is deviated way far from that. But originally it was supposed to signify spiritual healing. And they would practice alchemy. They would use, the alchemy symbols. They would actually use the alchemy practices. A man and woman would come together and use the alchemy practices to, if they felt the energy being unbalanced in some way, they would use different alchemist practices to balance their energies back again. And they called it the secret of the white gold. I don't know how many of you have read that story, but it is intriguing. For years and years, they were searching for the secrets of the white gold. And they thought it was something they could create, by mixing certain metals and minerals and all this stuff together and boiling them. And it shows, you can find all these ancient pictures of these alchemists trying to create this white gold. It was the secret to everything. It was the secret to eternal life. But what they found was the white gold was actually created in the pineal gland When a
Yes,
man and woman came together and balanced the energies perfectly, the white gold was actually in the pineal gland. That's where it was found.
correct, correct.
And the there's a video on YouTube that's awesome. It's called Sex, the Secret Gate to Eden. And it talks about all those energies and all those, it even shows the pictures of the alchemy and how everything was working at that time. That's a fascinating video to watch. It has a lot of ancient culture secrets and all that stuff in it. All of them said the same thing about the alchemist and about the whole basis of eternal life, what it was.
Well, yeah, I looked at a video on that. That's a powerful video. I actually might
It
put that
really
in
is.
the description. Yeah, that is
It's
powerful. That white
amazing.
gold,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah, and
Because
that's the
when you
thing.
watch it, when you actually watch it, you actually take on a whole new aspect of what a relationship is supposed to be versus
Right,
what they've preached to us that it's supposed to be.
right, right.
Not the same at all.
Not the same at all. Not at all. We're
Hmm.
here to create. Yeah, on different levels.
Yeah.
Element one, my guy Orlando says that's powerful. The energy should be a reflection which reveals your balanced nature so that you can achieve evolution in your walking life, in your waking life, in your waking life, especially when it comes to love. Beautifully said. Yeah, I want to touch on that love. And now you asked me, does it matter? Should it matter if the couples are interracial? Should it matter? Um, I'll use, for example, the black and white because there's so much history there, so much, contentment and unhealed wounds and scars that are there from both sides, and miseducation.
Hmm.
So, on a macro level, to me, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. On the high level, a spiritual level, it should not matter at all. Because on a high level, we should be dealing with love. We should be dealing with love. And but what hurts us is we are vibrating on a low level so often, and so that's a distraction from us vibrating on the high level. And so we focus on superficial things, outer things like skin color,
Hmm.
um, different things that have happened throughout history. We focus on that. It's an easy go-to. Is low vibration. So yes, on a high level, yeah, it shouldn't matter. On a high vibrational level, it should not matter. It's about energy. I agree. But we don't have the luxury of just living on this high level. We are here on earth and we have to deal with low vibrational people, low vibrational events and actions. And so we still have to deal with things that are going on earth. And I think from that standpoint, it does matter because I can't go through this life with blinders on because people are affected. I can't just go on how I feel
Mm.
and how I think because other people are affected too. There's another world going on. Meaning, I asked Yaya one time. I said, "Do you think it's in this world we live in, uh, and particularly living in the United States?" I said, "Do you think it's selfish for someone to bring a biracial child into the world, into this world?" And at first she said no, but she had to think about it. I said, "Well, think about it. You're bringing a child into this world that has so much tension and healing to do when it comes to black and white relations. And you're going to bring this child into this world, and this child is going to be in a ball of confusion. He or she is not fully sometimes accepted on the white side, and they're not fully accepted on the black side. And a lot of times they're confused. I run into a lot of biracial humans that had to go through a lot of counseling because of how we are as a society. And them not feeling like they belong. They're not knowing who they belong to. They're not fully accepted. They're being judged. They get judged at school by other kids. And so the flip side to that also is, let's say a white mother who looks white, apparently is white, has a child, a biracial child, who passes for black. Well, the white mother is going through life as a white woman. Her experiences are as a white woman. The child who looks black, her experiences are as a black woman. They don't have the same experiences. What are you thinking? You're itching to say something.
I think it's ridiculous. I
Well,
mean, all we're doing is propagating this separation generation to generation. I mean, it's got to stop somewhere.
I
And
understand. I understand. I understand. That's
personally,
why
the most powerful people I have ever met on the planet are people of mixed race. For some reason, they're able to tap into different lines of ancestry and heal it. And the man, you can go look at them. They're some of the most powerful speakers there are, and it's just unbelievable the wisdom that comes out of them. And I believe it's because they're able to tap into all those different aspects of the ancestors and actually heal, bring it forward to heal. And I think that that's one of the big, the thing why this is happening so much on the planet is because it's kind of a way to throw us off of this divide and conquer, divide, divide, divide. Because again, it's like, I don't know, you take a box of crayons and you say, well, if this one's this color, it's not really a crayon. I mean,
uh,
I don't know. And I
well,
work with,
well,
there's Hispanic people too that go through the same thing. They get a lot of that. And I talk, with people of different races, different, the Chinese people have some issues here, like quite a bit of issues here as well. So it's kind of like we have this really nasty stigma in the United States, or I don't know where all it is, but it's just not pretty. And you start looking at it and you see how that, I don't know, when you start looking at some real history, and I'll have to send you some of the things of this man that's pulling up all these ancient books. When you start looking at the real history, you start kind of getting wind of why this whole division thing is here, and it's not at all what we thought it was. So
oh yeah, I definitely know that. But what I do is, yeah. But what I do, I think from an objective viewpoint. So you can say it's silly, but we have to think from different viewpoints because there's somebody dealing with this. And so I can look at their life and say, that's silly that you're going through that. That's silly that you think that.
no,
But
yeah, it's not
I
silly
get,
that you go through it, but we all have our I think our soul chooses what it is that we are going to go through. And I believe that there's a lot that are coming here to, especially to heal ancestral pain and trauma. And some of them are very powerful beings that are able to pull from so many different lines at once, and I admire them. I see them, and the teaching, the wisdom they have just blows my mind. It's just incredible.
yeah, and I was going to get to that. So I look at things in an objective view, but I'm going to get to that. You're jumping ahead. I'm going to get to that. So, uh, so I was looking at, is that selfish, right? Because I love this person or I want to have a child with this person, but I would bring a child into this world with so much confusion. But on the flip side of that is, and we've talked about this before, we choose to come back here and we choose why we want to come back. And the thing is, I say a lot, and people say that Earth is a school for learning and teaching. And I agree with this too. You say a lot, remembering, and we'll get to that too. But remembering why we chose to come back. So, if the biracial child can remember why I chose to come back, the biracial person can remember why I chose to come back. I chose to come back to heal, to bring healing. And these people you're talking about, that are biracial, some of the wisest people, the greatest speakers you've come across. I think that's because they have remembered why they chose to come back,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you don't know who
Mm-hmm.
you are and why you're here, you're going to be in confusion, no matter what race you
Absolutely.
are or if you're
No
biracial.
matter
But
who
we're
you
just
are.
talking about biracial right now. So, see, I was getting back to it. So, I'm not going against biracial kids. I'm giving an objective view, 360 view. And so that's how we got to heal. We got to look at things from different views and then come up with an answer. Uh, so, any biracial kids out there, you got to remember you chose to come back. And you chose to come back for a profound reason, a righteous reason. And I can't answer that for you. I'm not technically biracial, right? But but there's something in all of us, mixed up in all of us, right? But uh, remember who you, why you came back is healing for yourself and allows you to heal others. You know, but yeah, I don't think it should matter. But we still got to deal with everybody is not on that frequency. A lot of people on low vibration frequency, and so we got to give them an understanding and meet them where they're at, but not really leave the throne, but be able to be in different places, but still remain at the throne. But yeah, they have to have an understanding because there's a lot of confusion, a lot. And so
So I have a question for you then. So
uh,
let's just say, for example, you do have a child. The child or whoever, whatever soul comes to you, I believe is going. They've chosen you. They've already chosen you, and they've already chosen the situation. So, for example, would you even have a child that wasn't strong enough for it? If that's, I mean, when I had my death experience, I've seen a lot of those things, and that's one of them is that we're not a victim of anything. We
mhm,
choose ahead of time, and we actually, do everything we can with the assistance of higher beings to get the people together that we want to have as our parents for some specific reason. So when you actually stop and think about all this, it really can take on a whole different, aspect of the light of things, and you can see it in a whole different light because, okay, we're not victims, and we keep wanting to
yeah,
think, even the victim mindset is really powerful. That's really our biggest thing today is our victim mindset. It keeps us from, for one, remembering who we are, and for another, completing what we're here to do.
right. And that's the thing. You say, would I even have a weak child? Decide to have a weak child? Each of us has to remember. Even my child has to remember why they chose to be my child. Why they
Yeah,
chose. We're all choosing
yeah,
to be here, right? So I can say I want to have a strong child, but they have. Everybody has free will, and everybody's choosing why they're coming
right.
back. But like you say, we
Mm-hmm.
forget. We forget. So it's not necessarily that necessarily the fact that they're weak. They have forgotten
Mm-hmm.
because you have a lot of people. Say, for instance, people who kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they've just forgotten
Yeah.
why they came back.
They just had a weak moment of
Yeah,
amnesia. It's
right.
amnesia. That's what it is.
That's all it is. They've forgotten why they came back, and we're distracted by so much. A lot of it is we're distracted by what we consider pain. You know, uh,
Yeah.
so it's a lot of
And
people that go through pain.
if we didn't have struggle though, there's how could we remember if we came here and everything was just all rosy and nothing, there was nothing, what would actually push us to remember if we had no adversity at all?
Right, right. Yeah, I was listening to this story. This brother was telling a story that his mom was very abusive. She had 9 kids.
Hmm.
Uh, his father died when he was 2, and after his father died, uh, she changed. She just couldn't handle it. Her mind was just out of whack. She couldn't handle it, and she was very abusive to the kids. Eventually, his two older brothers, he was the third child, his two older brothers ran away when they were 14 and 12. They couldn't handle it. But he also told a story that one day when he was young, around 8 or 9, she had all the kids in the car. Uh, and she was saying, all the kids were asleep except he. And he heard his mom praying and telling God, if there's a reason, if there's a purpose for me being here, let me know now. And he said right after that, she started speeding in the car really fast. The car was going really fast. And he said all of a sudden, she's just stopped really fast, really fast. And he said he looked up, and if she had gone one more foot or 2 feet, they would have gone over the embankment with all the kids. She was
Wow.
going to kill all of them, herself and the 9
Hmm.
kids. Later in life, they talked about this, and she told him that she was going to kill them. She didn't want to live. It was too hard. And she said she was looking for an answer. She said right before they went over, the reason she stopped was she heard a voice say, she said she could hear it clearly, say, stop, yell, stop. And she stopped.
Wow.
So think about this. The mom, the dad who died when the third child was 2, and all the kids, all the 9 kids, they all chose to come back, right? But the thing is, I can choose to come back and fight the good fight and race the good race, right? But if I'm connected to you, like, how does that work? You're my mom, so are you taking my right? Are you affecting my life? Or did I choose to die like that too? Or we're all intertwined, we're all
No,
interconnected.
I mean, what I seen, we all choose everything ahead of time. How things are going to pan out. It's just that we're hoping that we'll not take so long to remember. But if we do take so long to remember, we have plans of things to help us. I mean, we're, again, we're not victims. No, we choose our parents. We choose all of it. I believe we choose every bit of it.
we
And
choose
when
the
you
way
put
we
that
choose the
back
way
in
to die.
your own hands, a lot of people, yeah, you do choose to die. You do
Okay.
choose. I don't
Okay.
believe there's ever a soul on the planet that dies that doesn't choose to die, even if it appears that way.
Right. I can dig that.
Because
And
there's no way because your soul comes here with a purpose. There's no way that you would leave before internally you said, I'm done for
right,
whatever reason.
right, right,
Even if it's a reason that you want to go back and reset and try again, because we do that. We go reset and try again.
right, right. Even if it's a 2-month-old, a 1 day-old child.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even the souls that come into the womb and never are born and they die in the womb, there's a specific purpose, and it's usually to raise that mother's vibration to a certain level.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And it's hard. It's hard for people to recognize, and so that's why I like to look at things differently because everybody is not vibrating on a high vibration to have that understanding. It's different levels to this.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I have to. We try to have to. We got to speak to everybody at their level, like I said, but still not leave the throne. But some of this stuff we're talking
But
about,
yet I found that. Mhm.
yeah, I mean, some of the stuff we're talking about is crazy to a lot of people. It's out of this world, but it makes so much sense to us.
But yet I have found too, even people that are on a low vibration when you say certain things like this, it'll resonate with their soul, even though they might have a physical reaction. It still resonates with their soul. Somewhere in their soul, it resonates, and you literally can see it in their eyes. They know.
Wow.
But a lot of people really want something or someone to blame. They don't want to take that responsibility. That's usually where the resistance comes, is that we don't want to be responsible. We don't want
Right.
to accept the fact that our soul chose, the things we're going through, and that, we can change those things almost overnight with our choices as well, and with our thoughts,
Yeah. It's powerful. We don't
you
want
know?
accountability. We want to blame things outside of us. Yeah. The
Yeah.
God outside of us, the
We want to be a
devil.
poor victim. I'm not
Yeah.
sure why do humans like to be victims so much? I don't I've tried to figure that.
Well, um, it takes a certain kind of human being to dig deep and fight. A lot of people, man, that just don't want to fight. They don't want the accountability.
So
Looks like your signal's
they'd
bad.
rather be a poor victim.
Right,
But
right.
what is it about us though that likes? What is it about us that would like to be pitied? I mean, that's kind of pathetic. Why do we like to be pitied?
And when you think about it
I
though,
mean,
when you think about it, it's a good feeling to be pitied. It's a good feeling.
is it though?
Yeah, it's a good feeling, and you have to be careful to not be rocked to sleep with that. You know what I'm saying? It takes a
Yeah.
strong man, a strong person, to not be rocked to sleep with that pity, and say, "Hey, no, don't pity me.
I
I'm
mean,
not a victim." You have to
I've
correct it.
noticed, yeah. What I what I've noticed so much with my children is that, for example, when they're learning to walk, so these little children sometimes will take a tumble. I mean, they'll just fall headlong and crack their head. But if you don't look at them, if you look the other way and just act like you didn't see it, they'll get up and look around to see if anyone's going to pity them. And if nobody's there, they don't make a sound. They just get up and take off. But if you
Right.
go, oh, poor baby, and this just happened with my granddaughter the other day, like, oh, poor baby, the mom just jumped because she thought she got hurt really bad. Well, the little girl didn't. She had got up already, and she was like looking around like she wasn't going to cry. And then as soon as Mama said that, she started wailing at the top of her lungs.
Right. Right. She got the attention she wanted. So this works. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're still on interracial, right? Interracial couples. We both agree on a high level, a macro level, like it shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. But like I stated, on a low vibrational level on this earth, we have to be cognizant that it does matter to a lot of people, and people are getting hurt. People are killing themselves. People are going through a lot of got to go through counseling because they don't know how to deal with a lot of things. And when it comes to being an interracial person, uh, but we also both agree that they have simply forgotten that they chose to come back here that way,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
we're all coming back to teach, to learn and teach, and they just simply forgot. They forgot why they came back, and so that's why they're going through so much pain.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah. So if you go through any pain, any situation, any discomfort, it's a totally different feeling when you consciously say, I chose to do this and I
It
knew the
is.
consequences. And opposed to you feel like circumstances created this for you and it's not fair.
Exactly. And you're a
Right,
victim.
right,
Exactly.
right,
I noticed for myself that when I realize that when anything I'm going through, if I sit here and say, oh, I created that. Do I like it or do I not? Okay, if I don't, then I'm going to create something else. Because
right,
literally, we are creating everything. I believe we're creating everything that's happening.
right, right.
But again, that puts a lot on us that we don't like. You know what I'm saying? It's just so easy to blame somebody or something. I was just asking my daughter yesterday. I said, how come people love to blame something else? Why?
They forgot. They forgot. That's all it is.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have forgotten. Yeah.
it's true. That's true.
Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
really all it is. They've forgotten. Hey, we got my brother Soul Immortal in the house. Yeah, man. We what time is it? We're in, brother. It's 7:25. So we're about an hour in. But you get the beginning on replay, brother. Thank you for joining us. Um, I've dated women outside of my race before, white, Hispanic, uh, South African, uh, and to be honest, there was never sometimes a real connection. But as I think back, was that because I was vibrating on a low level and not looking at if our energies matched on a high level? And was it because
Mm-hmm.
of what was instilled in my mindset as a child? What I heard my mom say, my community say,
Mm-hmm.
me being afraid of being judged
Yep.
by black women. Because the brothers ain't gonna
Right.
judge me. The brothers, no, the black men ain't gonna judge me, right? But it's the black women. So is that all in my subconscious or my conscious mind too? So I'm avoiding really connecting with that woman on that level because I'm vibrating on a low level and I'm not thinking about energy and high vibration. Yeah,
I think you're right because again, who I mean, who can judge you? Who can judge you but yourself? You're your own judge. And the thing
right,
is this, I mean, what you mentioned that, but there's sure a lot of white men that are marrying women of color, a lot, and they love it.
right,
So
right.
I'm just like, okay, so okay, so that's kind of not fair because if they're allowed to do it, but you're not, okay, so what's that all about? I don't know. I
Yeah,
think we just I think our programming has just messed us all up and we're not even seeing the whole picture exactly it's the spirit, it's nothing more. And if it's so wrong, then what's Song of Solomon doing in the Bible? Then you better take that out.
yeah, and
You
I agree with the
better
Bible.
remove
Yeah,
it immediately.
yeah, and even Moses married outside of his race, and
Exactly. Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. And he got
the people
ridiculed for it, didn't he?
they
It
got
says he got
ridiculed for it,
ridiculed.
and God said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, leave your tongue off of that man." Basically,
Right.
don't talk down. Yeah, leave your tongue off of him. So, um,
But doesn't it go on to say that it was because of jealousy? They were jealous of his leadership. Doesn't it go on to say that? So they
right,
had to pick
right,
on something. I thought it said that down, like further down, that it was because they were jealous of his leadership.
yeah, yeah. They didn't feel like he was capable, and why was he chosen? Yeah, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I agree. On a high level, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter, but on a lower level, it it is an issue, and we have to be cognizant of that. We can't just say, "Oh well, it doesn't matter," because people are suffering, and so we gotta walk them through that process and help them remember. I think that's what it is. We got to help
Hmm.
them remember.
Yeah, I think I was just going to ask you, is the suffering because they don't remember? It's got
Yeah,
to be.
that's all our suffering. Anytime we
Hmm.
suffer, I'm not saying you're not going to go through things, but it's all about
Hmm.
perspective,
Yeah.
right? Um, I think it was Paul in the Bible that says he gladly carries the cross. Or I might be butchering this, but he does it with joy. You know,
Hmm.
he chooses the way to go, the way I'm going to go. I choose my death. I choose the way to live. I choose my death. And so, if we go into it with that perspective, that I chose to come back, and everything I'm experiencing, I chose. I don't remember, but I chose this. We can deal with it.
Right.
Yeah, we can deal with it.
It
Yeah,
makes you see things a whole lot differently. I know that.
yeah, we won't play the victim. Now, Moving to the next question concerning interracial, because we got to do this. We got to, because it's going to help people heal. Can an interracial couple be leaders or the voice for a particular race? Now, this is low vibration. I know the things we do: kill each other, judge each other. You're black, I'm white, Hispanic, Chinese, all that. Low vibrational, right? I know that, but we got to deal with it. We got to heal. Um, I take, for instance, Barack Obama. A lot of people were offended when Barack stated publicly he's not a president for the black people, he's a president for all. And a lot of black people felt like, well, hey, man,
Mhm.
your predecessors were looking out for the white interests. They were looking out for white people. So now we got a black president. Why are you making it known you're not a black president? A lot of people took issue with that. I look at other interracial couples. I follow a lot of brothers on YouTube that are married to white women, and they get ridiculed a lot. And they could, anytime they ever try to stand and be a voice for their race, they're always judged and ridiculed because they're with a white woman. And so they're never respected or fully taken seriously when it comes being a voice for black people because they have a white wife. Is that even possible? And I'll tell you this. A lot of people would say, well, the white men can have the luxury of dating outside their race because white men can have the luxury of not having to be the voice of white people. You know, but anytime you in a leadership role as a black man or a black woman, people are looking at you to represent the race. And I don't think white men are looked at to represent the race. And people would feel like, well, they don't have to be looked at to represent the race because they're the majority. They rule.
But where did that come from? Where did that programming come from? Man, I'm trying to find a video. There's a video. I want to put this guy's name out for you all to look at, because if you really start looking at what's what as far as the history goes,
Mhm.
the programming was brought by a specific group of people. They were Black Europeans. They were not the native ones here. Now,
Right.
I know that's probably going to be offensive to people, but I mean, this guy has the actual books from the archives. I have been like listening to him like an addict because I love history, and this is just fascinating. This is just
Yeah.
fascinating. I'm going to try to find his name and put and give it to you so you can post. Because if you
Okay.
start looking at what this guy has, the old books, it kind of changes. It makes you realize where all the programming came, and it really changes your perspective of all that, because a leader is a leader. It doesn't matter if they're black or white or Mexican or Chinese. It doesn't matter. A leader is a leader. If they're a good spiritual leader, that doesn't matter.
I understand. I understand that perspective.
Somebody has the programming, whereas you said Barack said, I'm not just for one person. And that's where the Tribe of Many Colors comes in. Have you ever been to the website, the Tribe of Many Colors?
I have. Yes.
Yeah. And that's what we are. We are one tribe. And it's like, we have got to stop this. This is just continuing to destroy us and destroy us. But if you get behind and you see where it came from, that's when you sit back and go, oh my goodness, this is where it came from. And then you sit back and it takes a while, and you just sit there and go, this is insane. This is beyond insane what really happened and what's actually going on. And, and again, it goes back to Cain and Abel. There were two distinct lines then, and it's carried down all the way. And it's not what we think it is. It's a whole lot different.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, I'll find this guy. His name is Karemio, but I'm trying to find the right spelling so I can give it to you. I have it here saved because I'm subscribed, but I'll
Yeah,
look
I
it
think
up and send you his name, and then people that are interested can look into some of those ancient books.
yeah, I think most people will agree that it's been a programming, that we've been brainwashed, we've been bamboozled. So how do we break the programming?
Well, I think we have to step outside of the comfort zone. I mean, to break the programming, some people you're going to have to realize some people are going to be offended, and I mean, you can't get through life without stepping on some toes. You have to live what your truth is, and I'm seeing this the most with all the people I work with the work that I do, especially young people in their 20s. I had a conversation with a young couple today. They were only both 23, I think, and they had 3 children already. They'd been married from 19.
Wow.
And these this was a powerful couple. I was absolutely amazed. 23 years old, and the wisdom and the insight that they had on things, and how that they knew that this was not what they were told was not it. And so,
Mm.
they got a hold of me, and we had a long conversation, and it was unbelievable. And it's not just them. I've been seeing people in their 20s, especially early 20s, mid 20s, they're coming out of the woodwork and they're saying, this is enough. They literally will say, this is enough. We're not doing this anymore. I don't care what all you want to talk about. And if you're going to be offended, we're not doing it anymore. That's what I'm seeing.
Right, right, right. I want to get into that. It's funny you say offended. Um, I might bring that up back. I'll bring that up later at the end, and there's a reason why. But yeah. So I think what we're doing right now and having this discussion is breaking the programming.
I
It
agree.
really is. It's breaking the programming, and um, this just came to me when I said maybe when I dated those women, I was on a low vibration, and that's why it prevented me from really connecting. Maybe, and maybe we weren't meant to connect anyway. But I was definitely vibrating on a low vibration because I was worried about what other people would say, what my mom would say, what
Right,
people in the
right,
community
right.
would say.
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, and I just thought of that today, right now, as we're speaking. I was like, man, maybe, I was just vibrating on a low vibration and didn't even give it a chance. Really, it had no chance. Um,
Hmm.
but us having this discussion, I think that's a part of breaking the program. We got to have these tough talks that people may be uncomfortable with, but we got to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just found this, so I'm going to post it to you. This is the
Okay.
YouTube channel I was talking about. The history is incredible. So there you go.
All right. I'll send that.
Karimio Aha Ahu. I don't know how you say it.
All right. Let me post that.
Don't listen to it if you don't want to have all the things you've been taught challenged.
Is that
If you're in a
again?
comfort zone, if you like your comfort zone, don't listen. Don't.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, upside and downside of being in an interracial relationship on this earth. The upside and the downside. I think you gave the upside that if you remember who you are and why you came back, you can share so much wisdom that everybody can receive. But
Yeah.
the
Pulling all
downside,
those different ancestral lines. Hmm.
right, man, that's a lot. People don't think about that. Those ancestral lines that are in you. But if you don't remember why you're here, why you chose to come back, you're gonna be in a confused state of mind. And you're gonna
Hmm.
you're gonna suffer. Yeah, you're gonna suffer because you're confused and you don't remember. Yeah. So yeah, that's the upside and downside. If you remember, you came back to teach, and you can pull from those ancestors. You can pull from it and give back. But if you don't remember, and you're gonna be in a state of confusion, that's the suffering, being confused. Yeah, it's nothing more suffering than being confused. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and you can literally, people that are here, that you can literally reach back and you can pull, you can do the healing on your ancestral lines. You can pull all the way back. It's like, you're at the end, you're at the tip, and you actually have the whole string of the ancestral line behind you. You literally can reach back through your own body because it's part of all of them, and you can do the healing you can heal the whole line. That's what a
Right.
lot of the people are on the planet to do right now as healers. But I just hope they remember. A lot of them are, but some of them aren't. And so they're wondering why all this pain and trauma and stuff is coming, but they're bringing it forward. It's coming forward in their body, whether they remember or not, hoping that they're going to, do what they need to do, what they came to do.
Right.
And that's heal those lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a bad connection, or do you need to move closer? I know when you're closer, the connection is pretty good, but it's freezing in between. I don't know.
I can check. I don't know. I think it's just my computer getting hot. That's what's happening.
Okay. So we got.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. We got T King. It's hard for me to understand why would I create pain and hardship in my own life when I try so hard to live a good life that just don't make sense to me. Well, what it is, and I'll give my take on this, and then you can follow behind me, Phoenix. What it is, brother, you want to be a piece of gold without going through the process of refinery. You don't want to be tested and tried. You think I could just be a piece of gold without going through the process of becoming gold. Um, Now you are always gold, but you have to remember the process and then meet it. Your present tense and your future has to meet at one point. And so that's part of the process. That's actually that's fun. And it's all about perspective. If you see it as suffering, it's going to be suffering. If you see it as a loss, it's going to be a loss. If you see it as a lesson, it's going to be a lesson. So Soul talks about this a lot. Uh, and so if you want to come on tap in, I'll bring you in. But Soul said when he was laid off at one of the jobs, I think in the oil field, when he was laid off, he was joyful, and he didn't even have anything lined up. And he's going around giving people high fives, and he really doesn't know his next move. And people are in the office is looking at him crazy, like what the hell is wrong with this guy? And he doesn't know his next move. But it was in him to say, man, I embrace this. I embrace this discomfort. I embrace it because I know it's part of the process to get me to that piece of gold, to be that block of gold. It's part of the process. So I embrace it. I run to it. Not only do I embrace it, man, I run to it because I can't wait to get through this process to get to this piece of gold. So it's all about perspective with me. It's not suffering if you remember the process and remember you chose to come back here and remember the end game. Remember your purpose. And you'll say, man, this is part of the process. It's like a race or a boxing match. And the Bible refers to races and boxing a lot because that's what it is. You're going to go through trials and tribulations, but it's all about that prize at the end. That's what it's all about. And I think Paul says in Corinthians, many enter the race. Many enter the race looking for the prize, but only one gets the prize. He also says, I'm not a boxer that's boxing with the wind, that boxing at the air. He says, no, I'm intentionally hitting the body. Now, he's not talking about a physical body. He's talking about his body. He's challenging himself, his disappointments, his insecurities, his weaknesses. He's challenging the body, building it up intentionally So he says, when I go out to preach, people can't look at me and say, man, look at you. You're preaching to me, but you got this weakness on you. So he's challenging himself. He's gladly going through it, man. Going through that pain of challenging himself because he knows at the end, like you said, man, I raced the good race. I fought the good fight. That's what you want to see at the end. But everything's not going to be peaches, and cream and roses. You're going to have some discomfort. But depending on your perspective, it could be suffering or you can go through it joyfully. What's your take on that, Pheonix?
I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna say. I mean, those that grew up in the church know that. I mean, in James, I think it's James 1:2. It's like it says, "Beloved, or my brethren, count it all joy when you go through diverse temptations," or something like that, knowing that the end worketh
Right.
something patience, or I don't know what it is, but
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
it is. It is joyful. I mean,
Yeah,
and
it is
and
joyful.
I would just say to the brother, try to remove the resistance out of you. I've gone through some things that I could say, would be like what people would call hell, but what I learned to do, and this just might, I don't know, it might help you or not, I don't know, but I try to remove every bit of resistance in me because it's the
Mm,
resistance in you that causes the pain. So,
right.
for example, you would literally picture like a wave of an ocean smashing through you, but if there's something to hit, it's going to hit. Otherwise, it's just going to flow on through. So
Right.
if you can somehow go within and try to release or remove the resistance, you'll get through it a whole lot easier and smoother and quicker. And it's the same way with it's the same with it's no different. You're soul in yourself, you're birthing your soul. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's very similar. It's very similar, as a woman going through childbirth. It's the same kind of a process. You have to remove all resistance, and you just let everything flow, and then you don't have the pain that you do if you're fighting or having a resistance. It's that way in every aspect of our spiritual, awakening is what I found. So I hope that
Yeah.
can help. But that's
Yes, I agree. I agree. He says, "Yeah, I hate it, man. I'm trying to get through it. Seems like the harder I try to make sure everything's straight, it go left. I'm trying to get it, brother." See, that's the thing, man. That's the resistance she's talking about. Some things you have to let flow, embrace it, open up, let it flow through you, and don't take life so seriously. It's like a balance. Take it serious, but not too seriously. Have some balance. And you have to laugh at some of the stuff, man. Like sometimes you gotta sit back and laugh at it. And yeah, he says I do have a lot of hurt in me from all the pain
what
of the things
like SD is saying. Laughter is the best medicine. Sometimes you have to literally sit down, and I've done this. Again, people probably think you're a lunatic, but you have to sit down and you literally have to laugh at yourself, and you have to laugh at some things that you know it releases it. It'll heal. It'll release that hurt. That's the fastest way to release that hurt and that pain. And again, the pain is because there was a mindset or a programming in the first place. You know, I don't know. It's just it's kind of hard to explain it, but literally go. I mean, figure out what's going to make you laugh. And there was a time where it took me a long time to figure that out, but figure out something that literally is going to make you laugh.
yeah,
If you have to
yeah,
go watch some kind of funny show or something that's so ridiculous you can't help laughing, then do that. Whatever. Just get yourself past that to unlock that with, again, I think laughing is the best thing. And when you go through a lot of stuff, that's the last thing you feel like doing, but it will heal, it will release it.
no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, brother King, you gotta and we talked about this earlier, you gotta remember that you chose to come back here. And so all the pain you're saying you've been through, you chose to come back here. And so embrace it. go through it joyfully, and say, man, I have the opportunity to go through this. Therefore, I have the opportunity to conquer it and then be a teacher. See, this is the thing, man. People, it's funny. I've mentioned this to Phoenix before, and ironically, Yaya and I was looking up this yesterday, and we're gonna get to Zodiac pretty soon here tonight. But she was looking at her sign, her what do you call her life sign, her lifespan sign, I think it's called. Uh, and we were just looking at different things about numbers according to Zodiac and our birth dates. And my numbers are 33 over 6. That's the master teacher, right? And so, but you have to understand, that might seem glorious, that title, being a master teacher. But how do you even get to be a master teacher? You have to go through some things, you know. So I've gone through a lot of things in this life and past lives to get me to this point, right? So that's the only way you get to be the teacher. You have to be the student first. You can't teach me algebra if you don't know algebra. You can't teach me how to go through a divorce if you've never been divorced. You can't teach me how to deal with the pain of losing a child if you've never lost a child. You can only speak in theory. All right. So yes, Lone Star life path number. Right. So embrace it, brother, because you're being prepared for something. You have a bigger mission. It's all part of your mission. And at the end of the day, man, we should all end up being teachers. So you're going through this as a student, and so you can be a teacher in due time and give back. There's somebody that's going to need you. There's a group of people that are going to need you, and you have to be available. But if you play the victim, woe is me, and you don't take this opportunity to say, man, I go through this joyfully because I know the end game, and I'm going to be able to give it back to my brothers and sisters. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Phoenix?
I agree with you. I mean, I know our numbers are the same, number 6 as well. But I was born remembering a lot of lifetimes and even meeting people that I remember from lifetimes. So it is, you have to go through a lot. But when you come in with that, and Brother King, you may want to look up your life path number. It might give you some enlightenment,
Yeah.
just to
Look at
see because yeah, because if you come in with some of these numbers, you literally have to bring forward all the unresolved things, all the unresolved issues from your other lifetimes, and resolve them in one lifetime, and it can seem overwhelming, you know.
yeah.
There's another one. There's another one that's real interesting. It's actually a combination. It's not just astrology and life path number, but it's a combination of all of it. And it's called My Human Design, myhumandesign.com. This is
My
absolutely fascinating because look it up, myhumandesign.com. You can put it in the chat.
okay.
But this one, it rolls everything together, and it shows you what the development's worth before you were even born in the womb.
I just added it.
And they actually, you can get the design chart, but you can also they also email you a free ebook that shows you how to read your chart. It's pretty interesting because,
Yeah, I'm gonna
like,
look
for
at that.
example, it shows you your body centers that are totally wide open and nothing. So, like, I'll just give you an example. Like mine, the heart chakra is totally open. There's no ties to anything. So what can happen when you have that is that other people can project their stuff onto you, and you think it's you, but it's not even you. You're actually feeling and reading other people. So it's really helpful if you actually can understand what you are and what it is, so that you can. Okay, generator. Yeah, I'm an alchemist generator. Lone
A
Star.
generator. Wow.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
manifesting generator. There's an alchemist. I'm the alchemist.
yeah, when you it's funny you say generator. Uh, you know, Brother Lone Star is in the power circle. And when he speaks with intention. Like it's powerful. Like you feel him. You know, I know he's a producer, but he got to be a rapper too. So because when he speaks, it's intentional, and no matter what he's talking about, like you're gonna feel him. You're gonna feel what he's talking about. Like everybody doesn't have that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny you say he's a generator. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So
it's a really cool thing to look at because again, it shows you what areas of your will center. If you find somebody whose will center is wide open, and you start understanding what it shows you kind of, what your purpose is or where you are, that ebook that they'll email you. You can go into the centers and it just kind of breaks them down and shows you your numbers and what it is that your strong points are that you have brought to the planet. It's really cool.
yeah, I definitely got to check that out. Um, Next topic I want to get into now. You know, we go through this life, men and women, feeling like we're suffering because we're attached to someone or we in a relationship with someone. And you know, should I be with this guy or should I be with this girl? You know, and we try to make sense of it. So I want to talk about twin flames, uh, uh, what was the other one?
Soulmates and
Soulmate.
karmic
Yeah, soulmates and karmic. Now, my brother just said, Lone Star just said karmic. His number is karmic debt, 16 over 7 karmic debt. But I want to talk about karmic. And I know karma or karmic has a history of getting a bad connotation of being negative. But there's good karma and there's negative karma, positive and negative karma. But a lot of times when people speak of that, they speak in a negative context, right? So, but I think the karma, whether you see it as negative or positive, is here to teach you. You know, so that's what I feel about that. Now the twin flames, twin flames. I'm going to give a definition of that or an example. Twin flame. A twin flame relationship is categorized by manifesting the strongest spiritual connection between two individuals. Two twin flames share the same energy source. They have the mission to meet during this lifetime to evolve spiritually. When two twin flames meet, they feel an intense emotional connection, an immediate physical attraction, and the sensation of knowing each other from before. This connection expresses the same way of feeling, thinking, and loving. The communication between them flows naturally, and they can even guess what the other has in mind. They can communicate telepathically and have the same dreams. Two twin flames share the same psychological problems, insecurities, and emotional imbalances. They may be separate several times during the relationship, but they always end up together. This happens because while they are separated, they suffer too much. Therefore, they always decide to reconcile. The main problem is that one twin flame is usually more spiritually evolved than the other, but eventually they settle their differences. When they achieve the greatest spiritual connection, they achieve the evolution to which they were destined. Wow! So a twin flame is they've been separated and they have to be reconnected. I'm summarizing. It's hard for them to live without each other, almost impossible. Although they may separate at times because they're not vibing. One may be more evolved than the other spiritually, but they end up selling their differences and end up together. Man, that's a beautiful love story. But what are your thoughts on twin flames? That's pretty powerful. That may be the most powerful connection.
Yeah, I think so. I actually am friends with. Well, she was on one of the shows that. Well, I'm not sure. She may be on tonight even. But she, Patricia from Chicago, she actually has delved extensively into this and has a lot of knowledge that she shared with me. But isn't it back to this? Isn't this what this kind of connection we're talking about? The
Right,
highest
right.
spiritual connection? Isn't that what we're talking about?
It is.
Um,
It is.
I don't
Let me
know.
pause you for a second, Phoenix. Phoenix, let me pause you for a second. Let me read this. T King, this is related to what we just covered. He says, "I don't play the victim. I'm just trying to understand why I keep going through the things I do, but I appreciate all the feedback." I would say this, brother. Get your numbers. Get your life path numbers. I'll put the link in here if I can find it. I was looking through my history a minute ago because I was there last night. Yaya and I was talking about this, ironically. And so I was looking through my history on my phone to see what the link was, what that website was. But I'll find it before this ends. Get your life path number. See who you are, where you at. And when I say play the victim, I don't say that you're consciously saying I'm the victim. But when you say, why do I go through this? You're not playing the victor. So you're not embracing it. You have to embrace it and say, I chose to come back here. But the key is, okay, why did I choose to come back here and go through these things? Why did I? You have to answer that. And it's to heal others. It's to heal others. Astrology Cafe. That might be where I went. I'm
Yeah,
not sure. Yeah,
yeah,
that might be
that's
where I
where I
went.
went. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Astrology
That
Cafe.
may be. Yeah, that may be where I went. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
brother. But find your numbers, brother. And like I said, I'm not saying you consciously say or vocalize, I am the victim. But it's a mindset. It's a perspective. Instead of saying, why am I going through this? And you have to. It's another perspective to say, wow, I'm going through this because I was entrusted. I was entrusted with this. They trust me to get through it. My ancestors trust me to get through it. They trust me to be victorious. And that's why I'm going through this. And I embrace it joyfully. And I'm going to give back. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry about that, Phoenix. But yeah, I had to address it before we went too far. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, so we're talking about twin flames. And I'm sorry if you can remember where you were. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You sent me that little article or whatever before. I had read that some, and it's talking about do you think that? I mean, I read some. I know that my friend Patricia talks about some people the vibrational match maybe is not on the planet.
Okay.
What do you think about that? I mean, I believe that because everything has yin and yang. I believe that, but whether it's going to be on the planet or not is another question.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a lot of windows up, Phoenix? Because that could affect your connection with
No,
StreamYard. You don't?
no,
Okay.
I had only this one. But like I said, my my computer seems to be getting a little bit hot.
Okay. So
I'm sorry about it. I'm just in the middle of a 1,000-acre crop circle. That's the problem.
right. So with the twin flame, do you think we'll find it? Well. Do you think whatever era or lifetime we come into existence, into a bodily form, right? Because the spirit never dies. Uh, but anytime we're in the physical form, living this life, living a life? Do you feel like we will connect with the twin flame, or we may miss out, never connect, and it's a different lifetime? Or what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it just totally depends. I think it totally depends on the vibration. I don't think that's going to happen until people reach a certain vibration. And they may even reach a certain vibration and even connect for a short time, and then it go like a magnet, but then pull back apart again because of the vibration isn't high enough. I think it takes a pretty high vibration to maintain something like that.
Yeah, it does. I'm sure it does. And so this is why I think some people can tell a story of, man, I was really feeling that person. We really connected. We really vibe, but somewhere there was a disconnection because that person, one of the people in the relationship, was not ready on the vibration, on the spiritual level. And then they just keep running into each other at the grocery store 5 years later. 15 years later, they run into it and they try again. And it's not working again. And then they run into each other the next year. Some way they keep running into one another, but they can never seem to make it work. But when it's on, when they're on, they're on. But there's still always something, there's a disconnect. So they may never get it right in one lifetime. It may take a few lifetimes where they keep reconnecting. And because I've had a feeling sometimes like, damn, I've known this woman before. Like I don't know where, and I
Mhm.
don't think we met in this lifetime, but we
Yeah.
definitely have met. Yeah, I've had that feeling. So should
Hmm.
twin flames automatically or arbitrarily be romantically connected, or can we be twin flames and just be friends?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
because
don't see
the
how.
yeah, because it says
Because
you're
I think
physically
the whole
attracted too.
mission, right? I think the whole mission is they keep running into each other, and they're like a total mirror. They're mirroring the other ones where they need to heal, and then they have to pull back away again and try to do that healing. Then they come back again and mirror something else, and so it's kind of like, depending on how quickly you're going to heal, it depends on how fast that's going to take place. It's all within. It's just the internal process, and again, I think it's the resistance. I mean,
Right.
literally, any one of us could literally heal ourselves overnight if we knew how, if we could figure out how to let go of all resistance. The instant you
It's
let go
true.
of resistance, you're healed overnight. It doesn't have to be a long process, but it's a long
Right.
process because we hold on to this, and we hold on to that, and we hold on to the other thing. It's all resistance.
Right.
So then,
Yeah.
whatever the healing wave that's trying to come through us hits up against a wall of resistance. And it's just us.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's crazy, uh, we have made it common to say, well, it won't happen overnight.
Hmm.
That's a common statement. But it can, and we
I've
have to
heard a
speak that
young
it
man. I
will.
heard a young man. Right. Yeah. Young man. He being interviewed by an older lady who was a teacher, and he had a lot of frustration with the school system. And she asked him one question. She said, "What do you feel?" He was saying the school system perpetuated lies on him. And she said, "What is the greatest lie that the school put on you?"
Mm.
And he said, "It's not that simple." She said, "What's not?" No, he said, "That was the lie.
Oh wow.
The lie was,
Wow.
it's not that simple." And she said,
Wow.
"Well, how?" And he said, "I found out it was that simple. All you have to do is do what they tell you can't do. It's done."
Yeah. It is that simple.
But do you see the lie? They want us to think it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Everything has to be hard. Mm-mm.
No, it doesn't.
It's only
It
as hard
doesn't.
as we're going to make it be by holding on to stuff and resisting it. You know.
Right. And people are just projecting onto you what's in them. They don't know any better. Guess we lost connection again. So I see my guy Lone Star. You said you're a Pisces. This is my last go around on this earth. I want mine now. Man, I feel you on that. Completely surrender. Uh, I feel you on that, man. Um, I'm a Cancer, so I totally understand the Pisces, man. Actually, we're water signs, so I know a lot about Pisces, man. I really vibe with Pisces. I could tell you a lot about the Pisces. I'm a Cancer. We're like we're like cousins. The Pisces and the Cancer are like cousins, man. So we got a lot of similar ways. So yeah, you're sensitive, brother. I know you're sensitive, but you'll fight your ass off too. And you're very nurturing and protective. Uh, so yeah, I know a lot about that Pisces, brother. But yeah, yeah, that is a big lie. That is the limitations that we have limitations is the biggest lie.
If you want me to, I can go and try to mess with my internet. It would take me a few minutes and see if I can get this thing working because it's really cutting out on me. Do you want me to?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read the soulmates, and you should be back by then.
Okay, perfect, perfect. I'll
Okay.
be back. Just let me go and mess with it a little bit and see if I can get some speed up.
All right. So we got the soulmate. We just read the twin flame. We got the soulmate. During the course of a lifetime, you may have the good fortune to meet several soulmates. With some of them, you can maintain a loving relationship. With others, you can have a great friendship. It can also happen that a relative is your soulmate. For example, a brother or a sister. The soulmate understands us like no other. Let me mute. Understand us like no other. I can feel that. Um, the soulmate understands us like no one else. Always beautifies our reality and is always with us when we need them. A soulmate can be for a certain time in our life, and for some circumstance, we do not see her again. It could be the case of a great friend who decides to go and live in another country, and then we don't see him anymore. The mission of soulmates in this earthly reality is to make our lives easier and more pleasant. Generally, soulmates guide us on our evolutionary path and leave us with valuable learning. They are our best adventure partners. Soulmates awaken the good in us and help us to be the best version of ourselves. Man, soulmates. That's an interesting thing. Uh, I will tell you now, none of my siblings are my soulmates. I know that for a fact. But I have seen siblings that are soulmates. Um, and you don't have to be twins. You don't have to be twins to be soulmates. That's a whole nother different discussion. But don't assume because people are twins that they're soulmates. It doesn't work like that. But I've seen siblings that are soulmates. I have seen that. It's a beautiful thing. I've seen I've seen friendships that are soulmates. They just understand. They can finish one another's sentences. They know when the other's in pain. They just make life more pleasant, more pleasurable. I definitely seen that. Um, I've had a couple of partners, and when I say partners, homies, homeboys, homies that I think were soulmates. We can lose contact for a while, but I guess a week or a month may not pass by, or I don't think about them. And then when we connect, we never miss the beat. We just never miss the beat. Even if there's a misunderstanding, we find our way back to each other. Man, I had a good buddy growing up, and actually we have a disconnection right now because of something I won't get into. But one time we had a disconnection, and man, when I saw him, man, I missed him so much. And we told you, we hugged, we embraced, we squashed it, man. We said we loved each other, man. I kissed him on the forehead. He said, man, I miss you, sucker. I love you, but don't you ever kiss me on my damn forehead again. But there's nothing sexual, man. I'm heterosexual, but that's how much I love that brother. I love that brother. I kissed him. I missed him, and I missed him. And we met in the second grade, and so I just really missed him. But and we just we just vibe like that. And so I definitely believe in soulmates. I definitely do. Yaya says soulmates are two souls destined to be together. Twin flames are thought to be the same soul cut in two. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. The thing with soulmates, though, is not necessarily everlasting. They might just be here for a season, and then they played their part, and then they're gone. Sometimes it could be like, man, they were wiped off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they were just here for a season, and you can't even contact them anymore. You don't know what's going on with them. You don't know. But while they were here in your life, it made it so pleasurable, and you got stories on top of stories. But they were here for a season sometimes. Um,
Do you
yeah,
think it
so
was for a lesson? Would it have been for a lesson or to grow or what?
it could possibly be for a lesson, but I think like my brother T King. So T King says he's going through a lot, right? And a soulmate can come just to make it more pleasurable, to give you that lift to where you can get through it at the right time.
Kind of like a earth angel, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, to just make you might not have, or you may not be able to see that you don't have any joy, anything good happening to you outside of being connected to that person. It's just like, man, you make my
Mm-hmm.
day, man. When I'm with you, you just make my day. And yeah, that's an angel. That's a soulmate.
So I was thinking when you were saying that, my question is, what is soul family? Isn't soul family like a group of? I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing, but to me, it seems like your soul family or your soul tribe is your little group of souls that came to work together to complete a certain mission.
I
I
agree.
don't
I
know.
agree. I agree. Let me tell you something about that. Uh, I agree. I agree with that so strongly right now. So the power circle, I'm telling you, man, I would have never been a part of anything like that 5 years ago and beyond. Never, never wanted to be a part of it. Thought it was corny. Thought it was lame. Didn't trust brothers. All these brothers gonna come together and get along. Just didn't want to be a part of it, right? So for me to be on this live right now with a so-called white woman, right? No, right? That was nobody would have believed this. I wouldn't have believed it. That we'll be doing this every Tuesday, right? So another side, I'm in business with this nonprofit with two old classmates, two females, Pam and Timberly. Never would have thought I'd be involved with nonprofits, feeding the homeless, and then with two females. And so I know all these females are coming into my life for a reason, right? Um, but I never could have. Well, I say I never could have designed this, but I got to remember I chose to come back and to experience this,
Hmm.
right?
And
So I did.
maybe your there's programming or something that needs to be shook apart, so the things that you said you'd never do or you're doing now because it's helping shake you loose from that,
Right.
whatever programming. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't even know if I said it. I don't even know if I had a thought process saying I would never do it. I think I
Yeah.
never imagined.
Yeah. Right.
If someone had told me you're going to be doing this years later, I would have said no, I'm not. Yeah, doesn't fit me. But let me tell you something else. Let me tell you another story about this soul family, right? And remembering why we're here. Um, I've talked about my uncle who my mom was mourning over before. Well, my uncle was dying. This was years ago. I probably was like 10 or 12. My uncle was dying of complications from AIDS. Now, this was back when people didn't know much about it. It was in the 80s. I probably was younger than 12. It was in the 80s. They were scared. His siblings didn't want to come into the hospital room to even touch him or be near him because, we didn't know back then, you get it through breathing, through touching. It was ignorant. People were ignorant,
Yeah.
right? So you can't blame them. We didn't know, right? We just didn't know. My mom was the only one, I think my grandmother too, that would only go in the room to be near him and touch him. Before he passed, they eventually started giving him a morphine drip. So he just, eased out, right? He had cancer. It was complications from AIDS. But on his deathbed, and I've never shared this story with anyone other than Yaya. So you guys are getting an exclusive. So on his deathbed, he told my mom he was having visions. And he said, I can't remember the number, but he said he saw pastors and preachers coming out of our family. Now, at this time, we didn't have any pastors or preachers, right? So, okay, fast forward, he passes soon after. My brother becomes a preacher. My oldest brother becomes a preacher at 19. Uh, and I think someone else becomes a preacher. So the day, fast forward, I'm like 25. I'm having this talk with my mom, and she's mourning over her brother, just reflecting. He had been gone, but she's mourning, reflecting. I'm learning a lot about her. We're just having an open talk. She's real sensitive. And she tells me this at 25 what he said. And he said one of the people he saw being a preacher was me. And I said, nah, not me. Nah, I don't. I can't see. I can't see being a preacher. Like I can't see being in the pulpit, anything like that. Dressed in a suit all day. Now I do love suits, but I'm saying like it just doesn't fit my vibe. I love cigars. Everything. Every now and then I love my liquor. I don't want to give it up. I don't see me as a preacher, not in that sense. So fast forward, we get the internet and we get social media, we get YouTube. And here I am, in a sense, YouTube is a pulpit, right?
Yeah.
And I am preaching to people or teaching people.
Mm-hmm.
So things were created in my lifetime, in your lifetime, to uh, accommodate us and accommodate our personalities to do what we need to do. Yeah, I would never be in the pulpit still. I don't see that. But the YouTube thing, I can do that. And this is my pulpit. And I have a different philosophy than the Baptist preachers who I was raised under too. So
Yeah.
they wouldn't accept me either. So YouTube is perfect for me, right?
Yeah.
But it's perfect. But everything came together perfectly so I can do what I need to do. And not just me, for other people too, to do what they need to do. But if you would have told me I would have been on YouTube, I would have said no. Speaking on YouTube, I would say no. Yaya was shocked. I shock myself sometimes, like, because I'm very low key. So I shock myself. But it's so powerful in me, it's so much burning in me to get this out that I have to get it out. And I got to fight whatever insecurities or any walls I got up because I got to give it out. And I don't want to have to come back and retake the test.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, soulmates. Have you come across soulmates in your soul family, you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Probably the first thing, I don't know, like the karmic part of it. I've come across a lot of karmic stuff, and I had to wonder if, what we were talking about earlier, when you come, you have to bring forward I think especially as you come some of these master numbers, you do have to bring forward everything from past lives. And some of the karmic situations I've been in are definitely people from past lives that I remember. I recall them. But there's also been, after it seems like there was at first in like early part of my life, there was a lot of more karmic stuff. And when I would meet somebody, I would literally go into a dream and remember the past life, remember everything that happened.
Mm.
It's yeah, there's been some really odd situations. I don't
Wow,
know if you
wow.
want me. There's one particular that is just. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just.
Share it. I just shared a
I don't
story.
know if you want to hear it or
I
not,
just
but
listen. I just gave an exclusive. You got to give it up.
yeah, it's exclusive. But so there was this homeschooling family that my children were talking about, and one day they kind of got to be friends with their children, met them at different places, but I had never met the parents. And one day they stopped out at my house, and they came in, and the guy, I had this really weird feeling, like a creepy feeling about this guy, and I had no reason to whatsoever, but I had this like really heavy, dark, strange feeling. And I'm talking to his wife, and she's really cool. We're talking about herbs and all these different things. She homeschools, and we just had a lot to talk about. And we're talking, and I'm telling her about all these herbs I'd use to heal people's broken bones in 3 days and stuff like that, and how you can heal any break, even a serious one, in 3 days.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, this guy, he was sitting over here in the corner, he looks at me and says, "You're a witch, you should be burned at the stake." And when
Wow.
he said that, I felt something so strong hit my body, the chakras in my body. It literally stunned me. I was like, "Oh my goodness, this there's something here that's just crazy. I don't know what it is." But I just had to pass it off and just keep on talking to his wife, right? But that night when I fell asleep, there was a dream from the time I was a tiny child, probably 1-2 years old. I've had this reoccurring dream of trying to help people escape from some oppressive. It was an oppressive culture or leader or something, and I know who the people were because I went to school with two of them that were in that group. But I was the one that was supposed to bring them underground and get them out of this area, right? And we were discovered. They found our hiding place, and they killed me. I've had this dream. This is how the dream went over and over and over. And I would wake up just sweating. I'd be crying for my mom because I had this dream so many times. And the one soldier came forward and smashed my head with the butt of his sword.
Oh, wow.
And the last thing I remember is the vibration going through my whole body, that smash, and then I was out of my body. I was dead. But so when I came back in this life at 1 year old, um, I was trampled by a cow, and my skull was fractured in that area, that same area where I always had the dream,
Wow.
right? Okay, now fast forward to this night after I met this man. I go to sleep, and immediately I'm in that nightmare again. I hadn't had it for years, but he was the soldier that did that, and in my dream I was shown that he came here so I could forgive that.
Wow.
That was my part that had to come forward from that lifetime, because it was literally haunting me and causing issues in my body still from that lifetime.
Wow. Wow.
So there's some really weird things, really weird things.
I can believe that. I can dig that. I totally vibe with that.
Now I can go into another one, and again I'm thinking these. I don't know what you would term these, if they're karmic or what you would call them. I would
Those
I would assume it would be if you have to bring
those
it
are
forward and forgive it.
yeah, those are karmic. Those are
Okay,
karmic. So let me read
and
that.
so
Let me read the
yeah,
karmic.
read that one. Yeah.
Okay, karma is a spiritual law. Let me say that again. Karma is a spiritual law that states that we experience those we have generated in others or to the outside world. Karma is the set of responses we receive to our thoughts, words, and actions, whether good or bad. This law manifests itself in interpersonal relationships, family, work, couples, etc. Karmic love relationships involve great suffering, and the worst thing of all is that the person affected cannot definitively end this harmful bond. Wow. Within the dynamics of a karmic couple, There is verbal, psychological, and even physical violence. The other does not bring anything good in our lives and only looks at how to obtain benefits. Although it may seem surprising, a karmic relationship has a positive objective. Let me repeat that. Although it may seem surprising, a karmic relationship has a positive objective to awaken a new consciousness and eliminate this type of relationship forever. The one who suffers a karmic relationship must understand the reasons that led him or her to have a negative bond. Understand the reasons that led him or her to have a negative bond. After the awakening of the consciousness, the individual understands that he or she only deserves to maintain healthy relationships. Man, so man, that might speak to you, brother King. I don't know what's going on as far as relationships. I think you share one story with me privately that I won't get into because that's our talk. But I don't know if there's something else as far as a relationship as to why you may be experiencing this suffering or this negative bond. Uh, Now it says you can't get out of it, man. Let me let me read that again. I don't know if I want to accept that, man. What do you think on that? You can't get out of it. Hold up, where's that at? Karmic love relationships involve great suffering, and the worst thing of all is that the person affected cannot definitively end this harmful bond. Can't end a harmful bond. So that would have to be family, or yeah, if you got children by someone that have to stay connected to. Yeah, man. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I experienced that almost word for word for 23 years.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go there, but I'll let you tell you tell your story. Yeah,
But as I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, it's really interesting, and it was really to wake me up to my purpose. And no, I couldn't leave, but he left. But I remember the day. So one thing that's interesting to me is, again, I came with a lot of memories of lifetimes, and when I met him, I remembered the lifetime before, and I had a really bad feeling because what had happened in that lifetime, just the memories that I had, was that, and it's interesting because I could remember the buildings and everything in that age, but there were two young men. This one, my ex-husband had wanted to marry me, but there was another young man that I chose instead of him, and he was really angry. And I remember the night after I told him that, he was riding a horse and he galloped off. He was so angry. I've never seen anyone so angry. And as he was galloping off, he got into the edge of the forest, and there were some people that really didn't like him. And I was watching him leave, and I seen somebody come out of the forest, and they stabbed him with a dagger. I seen that happen, and I
wow,
felt so horrible. I felt like that was my fault because I told him what I told him. So I remembered that when I met him shortly after. But here's a really odd thing. He was born with a scar there over his heart, a dagger-shaped scar.
wow. So you guys met before. You guys met before in a previous life,
Yeah.
and you
And
had
I
a
remember I
pre-
remember after it was about 23 years, and I knew this. I knew, and I'm like, it's my fault. But honestly, it's not. It really wouldn't be, just because you choose somebody, but yet I was holding myself to that as being my fault. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And I all of a sudden realized one day, I remember realizing, you know what? It's not, that was not my fault. Just that I decided to choose that was my choice.
right.
So how was that and I remember thinking that, and I remember like this load falling off my shoulders, literally felt like this load falling off my shoulders. And I was like, And I told him, I said, and I remember even telling him, I said, you know what? I feel like all the karma from that last lifetime when I felt like it was my fault that you died is gone. And it was shortly after
Mm,
that that he left. Just I'm like, oh my goodness, it was just so
wow.
odd. So I think too with Brother King, look into some of that and try to, go back and see if you've had reoccurring dreams even as a child that you thought were just dreams. There may be something, that's trying to come forward and be released, that once you get past it, you'll be in a state of peace, because I know what it's like. I mean, being in something for 23 years is, I'm telling you, it's really, really hard. But again, time is just something of our mind. Time and space are the biggest illusions of our mind.
Right.
So it's really about releasing ourselves. We're
Yeah.
our own judge.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
wasn't willing to release myself from that for all those years. But the instant I did, it just kind of dissipated on its own.
Wow. That's something. So, Do you think you stayed in a relationship with your ex for so long because of guilt of what happened to the guy you rejected, or embarrassment? Like, I made the wrong choice. Let me stick this out because it's just I made my choice. I made my bed. Let me lay in it.
Um, Kind of. I mean, that was kind of my upbringing too. Is once you're together, that's it. You're not going to,
Right.
and loyal. I'm just by nature, I'm fiercely loyal. So, it's like I'm not gonna, if things aren't going just so, I'm not gonna, just back out. And then
Right.
another thing too is when you actually get into like astrology and different ways at looking at compatibility, we were like the least compatible that there's ever been. I mean, your compatibility is supposed to be like
Right.
100, over 100 at least. That's a minimum. And ours was like 20. So it's like, I mean,
Mm,
there were so many things, but I don't know. I don't really have the answers. I just, it's kind of like you kind of see something through a fuzzy glass, and you kind of see parts of it, but you don't really know what all affects everything. You just can't really know.
right. Right. Wow. Karmic relationships.
But yeah, it caused healing. I mean, it definitely caused me to heal. Like, read that last part again, would you, of what the karmic relationship, the healing part of about it.
Let's see. The one. Well, let me start here. Although it may seem surprising, a karmic relationship has a positive objective: to awaken a new consciousness and eliminate this type of relationship forever. The one who suffers a karmic relationship must understand the reasons that led him or her to have a negative bond. After the
Mm.
awakening of the consciousness, the individual understands that he or she only deserves to maintain healthy relationships.
Mm, that's true.
So you
That's
have to
true.
understand why what drew you to this negative bond.
Yeah, it
So
was it was the guilt. It was the guilt of feeling like it was my fault. That's what it was.
wow, wow. So you might in this lifetime you may carry a lot of guilt. Did that help you to release that, or do you still suffer from that
Totally.
within?
I don't feel it anymore at all.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
It was like awakening a new consciousness. I would have to say that.
Okay. Yeah,
That
he says.
that resonates what that says. It's
Yeah,
like I don't see how I could ever get into something like that again, just because it made me view things from a whole different perspective and level than what it was before.
right, right. Brother King says, I'm single. I live alone as of 4 months ago. I'm 47. Only had two real relationships in my life. Huh. Yeah, man. we'll speak online. If you want to come on, man, I'll bring you on. We can dive deeper into that. But if you want to speak in private, we can do that too. That's totally up to you. Um, but yeah, I love to dive deeper into that. So yeah, we can talk offline, or you can come on if you want to. But we are live, so keep that in mind. Everybody doesn't want to be on live sharing their story, so I get it. Um, yeah, everybody's not crazy like me and Phoenix, right? But
Right. Yeah, we just whatever. I mean,
right,
and as having a life path number 33, we have to be willing to just be out there sometimes because I
yeah,
mean, how else can people heal if they don't hear real life experiences? That's kind of um my take on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He said offline is cool. Good deal, brother. Um, man, I was looking at man, there's a guy on IG. I cannot remember his name. I believe he's Asian. Uh, but he was telling people, uh, he was giving people a formula to find their karmic number. So I guess
Okay.
everybody has a karmic number. I guess I think this thing's had this the zodiac, the cosmos, the constellations. It has layers to it.
Mhm.
So depending on your number, you know, it will give you a reading, right? So it said my karmic number was related to in a past life. I hurt children in a past life. So I was telling Yahya, I was like, damn, why am I so passionate about kids? I'm talking about since even when I was a kid, like I had nephews when I was like 10, nephews and
Mhm.
nieces when I was at 10. And I was very protective, and even though there's not a huge age difference, they've never called me by my name. It's always respect, uncle, and but I love mentoring young kids. I love coaching. I got the God kids, the relationship with my kids. Uh, and I always wonder, like, dang, why am I so protective of kids and a champion for kids? And I was like, man, that might be it. That might be the reason why. In a past life, maybe uh, I'm bestowing equity, you know, eh, with that karmic. You have
Mhm.
karmic debt, and then you have karmic equity. Yeah. He's my brother Lone Star Music says my karmic debt number experience is about crash, burn, and learn. Wow. Crash, burn, and learn.
Lone Star, where did you look it up? Like, how do you find it? Is there a site that you can find it, or where do you look it up?
7/16. See, I gotta record my numbers. I gotta man, his brother Lone Star is on it. He knows his numbers. But what it is, it's a compass and it allows you to navigate through this world more clearly. And so you know why you're experiencing things. And that's why we're telling Brother King, man, get those numbers. So it bring clarity.
Oh,
And
there's
then you
yeah, seventh life path .com has a calculator. Seventh life
okay,
path.
cool. Seventh life path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He said he has several books on it. Yeah, brother. If you could put some of those titles in the chat, cool, man. I definitely want to get all my numbers. And it gives us a path. I mean, the stars, the cosmos is a God, Guide, to lead us and help us navigate through life. And I think the Zodiac does the same thing. Those numbers do the same
Okay,
thing.
so mine. This is interesting. I've never. It says your life path number is 33-6. Your life path does not carry karmic debt. What?
Well, those are my numbers too. 33/6. Those are
It
my
says, it
numbers.
says it does not carry karmic debt.
Yeah, this was some guy on TikTok. It was on TikTok. Some guy
Okay.
that ran my birthday. And then it'll tell you your karmic number. So I assumed he was saying everybody has karma or karmic debt or
Well,
something.
I mean, what I've read about the 33 is that that's where you've already dealt with the karmic, but you're bringing everything forward as resolution.
Mm, okay,
I don't know. It sure seems like I had some karma, but maybe that was just something I put on me.
but I tell you, my most suffering. how I perceived it as suffering at the time, and my greatest pain was with my kids.
Okay.
Uh, with the court system, custody battles.
Oh.
That's my greatest. That's been my greatest pain in life. Not a breakup with a woman. Not a death. Well, I had my son's death, so still related to kids. Yeah, any pain I had that was hard. The greatest pain was that thing while I was going through with my kids. That was the
Mm-hmm.
greatest pain. I've never been heartbroken over a woman since the age of 15.
Oh, just you're just hard hearted, aren't you?
I,
No, I'm sorry. I
yeah,
couldn't help that.
it's just not my path.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure in a former life I was. It's just not my path. Yeah, Brother King said, "What's the site again, Phoenix?"
It's Seventh Life. Let's see here. Seventh Life Path.
Numbers are simple.
Seventhlifepath.com. There's just a calculator. You can put in your birthday.
Let me type that out. Is it the word seventh?
Yeah, hang on. It's seventh. Yes, it's spelled out. Seventh Life Path. Yeah.
Sevenlifepath.com.
Hmm. Yeah.
There it goes. Brother Lone Star says, I actually know a lot about astrology. I'm just scared to show that side of me on an
Hey,
open
if
platform.
we can do it, you can do it. Goodness sakes, I've had that's been one of my fears is the fear of being seen. That's been a really hard one for me to overcome.
Yeah, yeah, Lone Star. I might have to connect you with my wife. She's into that heavily. I'm not into it heavily. It intrigues me, but I'm not into it heavily, I would say. But she's really, really into it. So might need to connect y'all. Um, but I do believe it. Um, but yeah, that's her way of life. She just loves it. I don't know if I love it, but but yeah. So it looks like yeah, both you guys have a deep affection for it. So yeah, brother. But let's see. So we covered twin flames, soulmates, and karmic. So we'll just do a rehash about the differences, the main differences. You can have several. So these are some points you can jot down. You can have several soulmate relationships and several karmic relationships during a lifetime. However, a flame twin relationship occurs only once in a lifetime. Okay. Point two, both karmic and soulmate relationships can be experienced through different areas couples, family, work. However, a twin flame bond only occurs in a romantic relationship. There you go. I asked you that, I think. And there you go. A twin flame relationship can only occur in a romantic relationship. Both flame twin relationships and karmic relationships lead to a spiritual evolution. The difference is that you have to stay with your twin flame while you must move away from a karmic relationship. Now, the karmic
Mm.
relationship can be bad or good. That's why I say you can hit it off with someone. I mean, you had the best time. You guys really enjoyed each other. But for some reason, you can't reach each other anymore. You don't know where they are. They don't know where you are. It was just meant to happen for that season. And some bad ones, bad karmic relationships are the same way. But we definitely, want to disconnect the bad ones, of
Hmm.
course. Um, Both soulmate and karmic relationships can be temporary. They remain in your life for a while, and then you may never have contact with them again. Wow, I just said that. I didn't even read this before. I just said that.
Okay.
And instead, you must remain forever with your twin flame to achieve spiritual fulfillment. The twin flames and soulmates generate happiness and gratitude in your life. Karmic relationships generate sadness, suffering, and depression in your earthly reality. Karmic relationships. So I was under impression karmic relationships can be bad or good, huh? Karmic relationships generate sadness. Well, sadness, you can have a good relationship and it'd be sad because the person died, uh, or you can't contact them or something. I guess suffering and depression in your earthly reality. Yeah, I think these relationships just helps you understand better understand the interpersonal relationships in your reality. You can understand it and you can see it. You can see it for what it is and accept it. And just helping you navigate, through this life. And that's what it's all about. Um, so my brother says, as a life path 7, I really enjoy seeking knowledge. Yeah, yeah. I can't remember Yaya's life path. She's listening in. You want to type that in, Yaya? Um, I want to say it was 5. Yeah, I think it was 5. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, just helping us guide through this life and helping us remember why we're here. That's what brings the suffering, I believe. We forget. We forget why we're here. Uh, you want to add to
Mhm.
any of that?
That's pretty interesting. Yeah. Are you were reading off of the one I sent you, right?
I was reading.
Or were you on a different spot?
No, I was
I
on a
mean, the one
different one.
that you sent me. The
Yeah,
one
the
that
one
you
I
sent
sent
me.
you. Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah, the one I sent you. Yeah. So let's jump into the zodiac, the cosmos. Now, I can't really go too deep into it. I'll be honest. I I would say I'm a novice. Yeah, I'm definitely not an expert. Uh, I wouldn't even say I'm at a moderate level. I would say a novice. I would say I'm a novice. I know some people can really go in. I know Lone Star probably can go in.
Yeah, maybe he
Um,
should jump on here. Goodness, he
yeah,
doesn't need to be scared. There's what, a whole 6 people here?
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So
come on.
yeah, so
It's
Brother
not like
King says.
it's not like we're in church or anything.
So
All
Brother
right.
King says he's an 8, life path 8. Um,
Oh, Yaya's a 3. Okay.
and
Okay.
Lone Star
Eight
says that
is
8 is a money man. So
yeah,
you're a
that's
money.
infinity. The 8 is infinity. That's what my daughter is.
Ah, she's a 3. Okay, how do I? Let me see. I know there's a link. Let me see if I can find the link. Let me see here. I can send out a link.
Astrology Cafe, is that what you're looking for?
Now here it goes. I got it. I got it. Now the link to bring Lone Star in.
Oh, oh,
Carrie
oh.
White. Carrie White, 16/2. We're gonna have to come back to this. We're gonna touch on it on the zodiac, but we're gonna come back to it so we can really get deep too. So Snoop Dogg is a 3.
Yeah, I think it would be really fun to go over them, the numbers step by step, just because it is interesting. But if you have a chance to look into the human design, that's even more interesting, like really interesting,
Yeah,
because it literally shows the points of your body that are open and free and the ones that are, defined. So,
right. Yeah, Yaya has a Snoop Dogg vibe. She does. She's cool. Yaya's
okay.
cool. Yeah, she's cool. She's cool. Like Snoop is cool. I disagree with a lot he says, but that's okay. People disagree with me, but Snoop Dogg. I have to say, Snoop Dogg is pleasurable. He's I would see him as a pleasure being around. I can see that. You know, I can see that him being a pleasure
I
being
knew
around.
you were going to be laughing, Yaya. I
Yeah.
knew you were
Carrie
laughing.
White, a 20. No, it said 20/2. 20/2. Carrie White, 20/2. Uh, yeah. So that the link is out there, Lone Star. I don't know. if you pegged in, you should come on. Let's see. You should be able to just click on that link that's in the chat. So Zodiac. So you probably can go deeper than me, Pheonix. I'll start it off at my level, and you can expound.
You
Now
might have to call Yaya in eventually.
yeah. You come on too. The link is in the chat. So yeah, Yaya and Brother Lone Star, come on in because like I said, I'm a novice at best. But I'm a Cancer. Like I'm a true blue Cancer. I'm in the first deacon of Cancer. I'm June 22nd. Like that, I'm at the
So
cusp.
what's your moon and rising? Because those three. Cancer is only how you are in public. So what are you in private? What's your moon sign?
Yeah, my moon sign is a Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah, my rising is a Cancer.
Oh, your rising is Cancer?
Yeah,
okay.
my rising is Cancer, and my moon sign is Taurus. Yeah.
So at home, you're Taurus. That's your home sign. But the rising is what people's first impression is of you, and your sun is what you are in public.
Yes, I'm a Cancer. I'm a Cancer.
Yeah. So my sun is Capricorn. My moon is Libra, and my rising is Scorpio.
Wow, you're all over the place.
I got a lot of Scorpio though. A lot.
That's another water sign. You got the Pisces, the Scorpio, and the Cancer. And so I typically really vibe with Scorpios and Pisces and Cancers.
I think I have Scorpio on either 4 or 5 of my planets. So I have a lot of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. I can admit I'm sensitive, like a Cancer, but I'm not sensitive in a way where like if we don't have a connection, we don't have a rapport. Like I don't care. Like I really don't care.
Yeah.
But if I bring you into my fold, I become very protective and very sensitive about you. Things that affect you or how you can affect me. You know what I'm saying? Man, I remember one Sunday. This was the Sunday when my brother Soul had invited. He had an open house, so anybody can come in that Sunday. And we had one young man who was expressing some things he was going through in life. And one of these new guys who never been with the group started kind of criticizing him. I didn't even have I've never had a private conversation with that young dude, but he had been with the power circle for a while. I felt very protective about him. Like, I dare you, new guy, come in here criticizing my brother. Like, because he was a part of the power circle, I felt very protective and nurturing for him. Like, I was offended. Like I was bothered by that. Where someone else probably would have been like, man, that's not a big deal. Why are you tripping? Yeah. That's not a big deal. But then I had to step back. It's like, wow, why am I feeling? This young guy had never had a private conversation. So I had to be like, man, why are you feeling this way? But it's that Cancer.
Yeah, my son, my oldest son that's at home here is a Cancer, and he's very much that way. But he's extremely dependable. He's actually the most dependable of probably all the ones at home. Very dependable. You never have to worry.
Yeah, I'm very dependable. What's going on, Lone Star, my brother?
What's good, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Oh,
yes, we can.
Coming through loud and clear, brother. Man, I appreciate you, man. Lone Star is in the power circle, Pheonix. I've said that before, but this brother's talented.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to give me an astrology reading now.
Yeah,
we have the professional in now.
No, we're gonna start with me.
Okay. Ladies first. Ladies first.
Come on, all right,
No,
what y'all
I
got?
had to
Go,
say
go,
that. I
go
had
ahead.
to dig. I had to dig you
I
on
know,
that one because I
I
knew
know that
your
was a dig.
reaction.
I knew that was a dig. I knew that was a dig. But
What
no,
y'all
so we
got,
was
man?
already we
Talk
were
to me.
already on Cancer. So you, as you know, he's a Pisces. So hey man, I vibe with Pisces. That's my
Yep.
water cousin, my water sign cousin.
Yeah, brother, sister sign, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However,
Oh,
yep,
however you, yeah, we're connected.
yep.
So what would you say about the Cancer? Because I'm a
Man,
true Cancer.
cancers are they kind of like that in like numerology. The cancer will probably fall under the two energy because the two energy is the mother energy. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
very nurturing. This is the reason why the sign for or the cancer sign is connected to the moon. This is the mother this the mother energy, you know what I'm saying? Very if you really look at it, you got like the crab, right? It's like a
Hmm.
shell, but it's able to go in the water, but it has a hard surface.
Yeah,
Versus like a Pisces, right? We're the fish. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We can't survive on land, you know what I'm saying? But we're deep into the waters, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can go on and dwell on the earthly surface with people, you know what I'm saying? Or you can dwell in the deep waters with people, you know? And
Wow. It's
and
funny you
even
say that. Let me pause you right there, Lone Star. It's funny you
okay.
say that because earlier I was telling Phoenix, hey, I know we're on this high level. I know. But let's think objectively. Everybody ain't here. So we got to meet them where they at
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be able, that's just the way I think objectively. And people get mad at me a lot of times because I think from a 360 view. I'm trying to think from all levels. Not saying I agree, but let me understand. Let me try to understand where they're at.
Most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. You
Go
know what I'm
ahead, brother.
saying?
I'm sorry.
Nah, that's I mean as a to wrap it all up, man, it's pretty much that nurturing energy, that motherly energy, very emotional, just like us Pisces, you know what I'm saying? The Scorpios are very emotional as well. But they're like it's it's kind of interesting because how you can kind of gauge it is like the Pisces, we fall like in kind of in the winter time, right? So you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like well, it's how can I explain it? It's kind
You
of like
coming out?
winter time / spring, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of warm water. The Scorpio, well, the Cancers, that's that's the summertime. So
Right.
this water is very vibrant. It's very warm. Everybody comes out and play, and it's full of energy. It's full of life. And you got the Scorpios, right? That's that dark water. That's
Yeah.
this is the reason why certain Scorpios that have dark energy. You know what I mean? And it's like they
Yeah.
dwell in that shit. It's very deep and dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you better look out.
Yeah. So Phoenix, are you a Scorpio?
No, I mean that I have it in like 5 planets, but no, I'm Capricorn and Libra.
Man,
Hey,
see,
so
okay, go
go
ahead, go
ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead. Well, let me say
Now,
this. Let me say this, and then I want my brother to come in on that. But Capricorn, let me just say my experiences with Capricorn. We vibe. And you know what? We're polar. We're on the opposite ends of the
yes,
spectrum, right?
yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
What do you
that's
call it?
your damn, bro.
Polar
That's
opposites.
your
What is
that's
it?
your opposite. Yeah, that's your opposite sign. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
yes.
Because go ahead, good. Yep,
So we vibe. I always vibe with Capricorns,
yep,
but I understand them and I get them. They get mad when I call them out.
yep,
They're very they're very tidy.
yep.
They would say they're broke.
Not
Not
true.
so. They would say I have no money.
Yep,
Not so, and you end up paying for their meal. Man, they
yep.
got money. They
Got
know
bank,
how to bank money.
big bank.
Yes, and then so I don't know if you would call that stingy or what, I don't know, but they
Yeah,
could be very
they're frugal, stingy, however you want to call
frugal,
it. Yeah,
yes. But also, if they let you in, man, when you get their heart, because it
they
ain't really
trust.
easy to get their heart. If you let
It's
them
not.
in and you break it, man, you can never reconnect with them.
Look. Okay, my flame, right? Um, my flame is a Capricorn,
Mm,
and man, it's I'm praying to God for reconciliation, man, because man, I love this woman so much. I love this woman so much. She's a Capricorn. I'm a Pisces. She grounds me. She
mm,
grounds me, and my my water itself, man. I opened up her imagination, and she was able to experience. We were able to experience a deep, deep connection, man. A really deep connection, bro. And man, I love this woman with all my soul, bro. But yes, I was honest, and she seemed like she forgave me,
mm.
you know, but it's like now the mirror is a little foggy because
Right.
we were mirroring each other, you know, and it hurts, bro. It hurts, man. And I pray, man, I'm doing all kinds of meditations, all kinds of shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I
just
feel you.
surrendering. I'm just surrendering, man, because I really feel like, um, man, I really crave that connection. I never had an experience like that in my life, man, and I don't want to take that for granted. I don't want to leave. I mean, I already kind of took it for granted, but I don't want to live with regrets because yes, if a Capricorn trusts you and they open up to you, man, it is the most beautiful thing in the world. They're very, very loyal, man. They're the most loyalest partners you'll ever have in your life.
Yeah.
You'll ever
Yeah.
have in your life, man.
I
And I
agree.
projected onto her my fears and insecurities. And thank God she's spiritually awakened because she also gave me grace and time to heal myself. But it also triggered me in my fear of losing her. And
Mm.
I think that's what kind of put like a resistance in the connection, and where it kind of like it's kind of shaky now. We still contact, but it's man, I'm doing what I can do. I'm working on myself. I'm healing myself, bro, because I really believe in that connection, and I don't want to lose that, man. I love Capricorns. I love Capricorns with all my heart, man.
Man, you got a cancer over here about to water up, man. Like, what's
Yeah,
going?
man.
Come on, Lone Star.
Yeah,
Man,
I
I
messed
felt
up
that.
big. I messed
I,
up big,
I,
man. But
I felt that, man. I feel your pain. Man, I feel your pain, bro. But you will reconnect.
I really believe it,
You
bro.
will. Oh, you.
I
I mean, you
believe it.
have to. The twin flame. I read it. I mean, and not saying what we read is true, but I really believe that with the twin flame that you have to connect.
Yeah.
But as you were talking, man, I was thinking she has to be careful too, because as Phoenix was saying, uh, she had to come back and forgive the man who butted her in the head with the weapon years or centuries ago.
Mm.
So she has to forgive you.
I believe she was weird because I believe she did. I believe
Really?
she did. You know, it was seemed that way. It seemed as if, uh, like I was really being hard on myself and beating myself up. About it,
Mm,
even though I was honest and open and kind of let her know what happened. She she didn't trip on it. She didn't dwell on it too long, man. And I just chalked it up as, man, she's really tapped in and really has a level of understanding that's really just unconditional and
wow.
really like a god a god level of understanding. And it made me look at myself like, damn, I got some healing to do if I'm really that hard on myself,
Hmm.
behind my actions. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
um and she made me aware of that. She made me aware of that.
Well, wow. Yeah, you definitely got to forgive yourself. You don't want to carry that with you. Uh, so So go a little bit more in. We touched on, of course, Capricorn, but you kind of went in on Cancer. Go in on Capricorn again. The attributes and
Man,
their number.
man, Capricorns, like I said, very grounded individuals. Um, I know where we connected, me and my significant other, she's a life path number 7 too. So she's very isolated, just as much as I'm isolated. You know, I love my solitude, man. And she love her solitude just as much. And you know, she don't have many friends, but the bonds that she do have, they're very strong. They're very strong bonds with people. Because like you said, once they open up and they let you in and they trust you, you know, you're a friend for life. You're a friend for life. And it's the most beautiful experience in the world. They're very my opposite sign is a Pisces is the Virgos, right? Virgos are about service, you know what I mean? They're you know, but they're rooted in reality just as much as the Capricorn is rooted in reality. You know, and it's kind of frustrating at times because I'm so watery and my head's in the clouds and this, that, and the third. Sometimes you have to snap out of it, nigga. Like come back, man, come back down to earth, man. And but I
we're
really
dreaming.
Yeah, very dreamy, man. Very dreamy. And Capricorns, man, like I know like when it comes to like planning shit out, they know how to plan some shit out for like months and then they work backwards. It's so weird to watch her process, you know what I mean? Like her process is really crazy. They're very good with like like of course planning, right? So when they plan shit out, I don't know why, but every Capricorn loves to have a fucking pen and a journal.
Gotta
Man, just
got her.
if you really fuck with a Capricorn, get them some journals, some sticky notes, or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And they will love you. They will love you for life, man.
And dry erase boards too.
Yes.
Dry erase boards.
Wow.
Yes, man. It's like it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. It's really impressive too, man. It's really impressive because I learned so much to implement for myself to kind of have that structure, man. The structure, the discipline, man. There's just, you know, it's Saturn, you know what I'm saying? So it's restrictions, you know, they're ruled by Saturn, so it's restrictions, man. And it's kind of weird because they also get the devil, like if you're in the tarot, they get the devil card, you know what I'm saying? But it's not necessarily what it is, even though like some of them is not really into like traditional religion like that neither. You know what I'm saying? They're very open, they're very spiritual. So they'll look at you know certain religions like, you know, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even make sense, you know. So it's you know, that's I don't know, that's my best way to kind of explain it, man. I love Capricorns, man.
Wow.
The sea goats, you know what I'm saying? Sea goats.
Goats.
It's not actually there. People think it's goats, but they're actually sea goats. So they're just as watery as us.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Sea goats. So did he nail it, Pheonix?
Probably pretty much.
Probably pretty much. What is that? Passive aggressiveness? Hey man, are they passive aggressive?
No. Nah. Look, she'll let you know. She'll let you know how she feels, man. And sometimes it can be a bit mean, man. Like, all right, man. Dog, I can seem very emotional, and I know it probably get on her nerves sometimes. And she's like, you know, she can seem like not emotional at all, but they process they're very emotional. They process their emotions different though. Like, yeah, that like she don't like arguing. She definitely not gonna argue with your ass, but she'll take a step back, and that's when they isolate too, because they're processing their emotions, and then they'll get back with you and talk about it if it's you know what I'm saying, valid enough to talk about. But yeah, they process their emotions different, man, and I understand it. I get it, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm thinking about a situation. Yeah, the Capricorn. I could definitely see that. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man. So what are the biggest challenges for the Cancer? We're gonna go through the Cancer. We're gonna go through the Pisces and the Capricorn because we're here. So, what's the biggest challenge for the Cancer to overcome, man? To do what we're supposed to do on this earth?
Man, that I don't know. I would assume just just living, just be nurturing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just be as nurturing as you can. Like I said, y'all do call people on their shit too. I mean, it kind of be funny when they be calling people on their shit.
It'd be funny.
Yeah, y'all can read people very well, man.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But in terms of that, man, I don't necessarily I don't know. I can tell you that from a numerology, like a numerological standpoint. You know what I'm saying? What you're supposed to do in life, but
yeah.
some astrology signs, like, man, I can I can only tell you so much.
Right. Well, I would tell any Cancer out there to we are nurturers, we're natural
That's a
nurturers and
fact.
caregivers, but
Mm-hmm.
what you have to be careful with, and I've run into this before, man, several times. What you have to be careful with is not being overwhelmed.
Mm.
A lot of people will come at you because they're drawn to you
Mm-hmm.
for advice, for nurturing, for caring, but you can be overwhelmed, and you have to know when to say, "I need time for me to recharge my batteries."
Okay.
I
Very
gotta,
similar to Pisces. Very
very
similar.
similar, both water signs.
Yep.
I got a friend who's a Pisces, and well, actually, she's the mother of my god kids. She's a Pisces. I totally understand her. She understands me. We tease each other about who's more sensitive. And depending where you look, it'll be Cancer 1, Pisces 2, or Pisces 1, Cancer 2. But we're both there, and anywhere you look, the most sensitive. So we tease
Yeah.
each other about that. But we totally get one another. But yeah, that's my thing. Advice to Cancers out there, man. Know when to step away. Self care, or you will explode. You will
Yeah.
snap.
Y'all
You will
aggression.
snap.
Listen,
Yeah,
fam, this is the reason why y'all got the shell. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the
yeah,
crab, right? Y'all aggression is crazy. Yes, y'all have a soft heart,
yeah.
but y'all snap a motherfucker in a minute, bro. Now,
Oh yeah.
in terms of
Oh yeah.
the Pisces, man, it's kind of weird because we can seem passive aggressive. We'll just swim the fuck away. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like,
Yes.
we're
Yes.
not finna deal with it. We're not finna deal with
You
it,
know,
bro.
it's funny you say that. Mika, mother of the god kids, she does not like conflict.
Yep.
Now she ain't no punk,
Nah,
but
not at all.
she do not want conflict. She don't want conflict. Like you
Yeah.
have to cut her off. Like you have to corner her.
Yeah.
Unless it's about her kids. She gonna go. She gonna go take care of it. But
Yeah.
she don't want conflict.
None.
I'm total opposite. Like I just want to be nipped in the bud. I don't want it to linger. So I'm gonna face it head on. And people think I love conflict. I really don't, but I know it ain't going anywhere. So let's just get it over with.
Righteous, man.
Right, right. So someone said, well, let's take care of this one. If you got any info on it, then we'll get to Pisces and Capricorn. But we're gonna take care of the chat. Someone Carrie White says, what about Sagittarius?
Sagittarius, man. Fire. They're a mutable fire sign too.
What that mean?
Uh
Mutable?
yeah, so they're similar, they're in the same similar boat as Pisces. I believe Gemini is a mutable air sign, and Virgos are a mutable earth sign, and Sagittarius is the mutable fire sign. So they're very fiery, you know what I'm saying, but they also can adapt. Um um Man, they're humanitarians. They have
Mm.
a very giving heart, you know what I'm saying? Uh they also can be Jay-Z, right? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes they can come off like they're higher than you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not smarter than me. Sometimes they can come off like that. But
Yeah.
it just, they're humanitarians, man. They have very big hearts, man. I know that much about Sagittarius, man. I really don't have that many relationships with many Sagittarius people.
Yeah. So uh so one of Yaya's best friends, sorry, is a Sagittarius. And so what I've known from Sags, they love to travel. It's
Facts.
hard. It's hard for them to be still.
Can't pin them down, bro.
I mean, they'll be in Vegas one day, and then 2 weeks pass. They're like, "Yeah, I got a trip planned for Miami." Like what? Like, and they're working long hours, by the way, too.
That's a fact.
So it's like, damn, where do you fit all that in?
And they
So
also don't hold it. They don't hold their tongue back neither.
they don't hold their tongue. It's funny you say that. So her friend and her guy, I mentioned him in the book too, a situation. But we went on a cabin trip, and we're talking about business. She and I were talking about business, and she's a SAG, and she's trying to sun me
Yeah.
on business, right? And what I told her, I kind of checked her a bit, and I was like, you know what you gonna do though? You're gonna respect my mind. That's what you gonna do. You're gonna respect my mind. And so we kind of ended it there. But she's older than me, but it's like I'm her big brother, and she looks at me for a big brother. And any decision she's making with a guy, she'll ask Yaya, what does Stacy think? What does Stacy think? She wants my advice. What does Stacy think? And I have to meet the guy, and I got to give my approval. And that's how she looks at me, like a father, but father, mother, nurturing, protector. You know, that Cancer. It's all the same, man.
Most
And
definitely.
yeah. So it's a lot of people that are older than me that will look at me like I'm older than them.
Yeah.
It's just me, man. So yeah.
I say
Yeah.
this. My girl was a Venus in Sag. So yeah, that was kind of, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
what about what how does the Venus affect? I'm really curious about that. How does the Venus affect you?
Man, I'm a Venus and Pisces as well. So
Oh wow.
how
Strong
I
Pisces.
love is
Oh, man.
it's a God type of love, right? It's it could come off as a bit clingy if you don't understand, if you're not if you don't have knowledge of self or understand, it can come off as a bit much, you know what I'm saying? But which is kind of why the dynamic is kind of, with me being with a Venus and Sag, it's like my space, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like I'm pouring all the love.
Right.
Pouring all the love. I'm pouring all the love, man, as much as I can. And I get it. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, but yeah, that dynamic.
So generally, what would you say the Venus? Mine is Venus and Scorpio. What does the Venus affect? What parts of your what is the Venus?
Oh, that's the love. That's
okay.
how you show love. That's how you express your love in relationships or just whatever.
Oh yeah. So you're a water sign in your Venus, Pheonix. So let me
Yeah.
get to this other one because I kind of skipped over him and went to Carrie White. I didn't see it. Brother King, he says, "Man, I love this. I feel 100% better with the info being shared. I feel like it's helping me get some understanding." Lone Star, can you touch on my path number 8? And my zodiac is Libra.
Oh, you definitely a money nigga, bro. You definitely, but say Libra's kind of stingy too, man.
Yeah, they can be.
They be acting like they ain't got it, but them niggas be having it, bro. And then if they don't have it, they gonna make it look like they have it. So it's kind of funny, fam. It's kind of funny, man.
Oh, I agree.
But every Libra I know got money, bro. Every Libra nigga I know. Money dudes. And our life path number 8, Money Guys, 50 Cent, a life path number 8, Post Malone, a life path number 8. Every powerful CEO or any person that's like really has a lot of money, bro, they're living in that 8 energy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's why, even if you have a personal year number 8 in your life, expect to be getting money. My personal year number 8 is next year. I'm about to be a get money nigga next year.
There you go. There you go.
Oh God, bro.
I believe it. I believe that. I believe that.
So what do you mean? What do you mean personal year number? How do you what are you talking about?
Okay, so the personal year number is okay, as a collective, this personal year is a 6, I believe. So you got 2022, and all of the add it all up, it
Okay.
equals to 6. You know what I mean? So this is a personal year number. Well, this is a universal 6 year. You know what I'm saying? And then your personal stuff is broken down throughout your birthday and whatever the year is and all that stuff like that. So like me personally, I'm in a personal year number 7. So it's a lot of isolation. It's a lot of spiritual growth going on at this time for me. So it's like it's very difficult. Like I'm isolating myself from a lot of my friends, and a lot of people probably don't understand, but I'm like in this growth. Like I'm in this period of growth right now. So I can run some of y'all numbers and see what y'all looking like, man.
Yeah,
All the way down to
shoot your numbers in the well, we'll deal with Pheonix first. But Pheonix, I was gonna say this since he mentioned that, man, this is enlightening. So this year is our personal growth number.
Oh, really?
'Cause
Oh, because
6.
of it being 6?
Yeah.
Oh.
2022.
well,
Is that how that goes?
well, I don't know how it worked for the 33s, man. Like it probably so, because y'all are the master number. That's a master number. 33s, 22s, which is the 4s,
right.
master number, and
11.
the 11, you know what I'm saying, which is right, you know. So this the I think y'all's, I mean, it's the same. Like 6s, I know life path number 6s are about balance, harmony, family, you know what I'm saying. That's like what they're really big on. So I'm assuming that 33s are the exaltation of that, you know what I'm saying. This mastery of that. Let me get my book, bro.
Put your info in the chat, Brother King. He says he wants you to run his. What do Pheonix first though? You want to run yours, Pheonix?
Sure.
Yo, what's your birthday?
12/26/75.
All right, so I'm gonna need. All right, hold on. I'm gonna need your name. It's gonna have to be your government, or you can give me your first name.
First name?
Christy,
Kristi, Kristi.
Kristi. Okay. And your birthday is what again?
12/26/75.
12/26/75. All right. Let's see. Give me a second. All right. Where are you at? All righty. Let's see. Actually, it's saying it's saying you sure you're 33?
Yep.
December 26th. Oh, I'm tripping. 75. I'm tripping. That was my fault. Hold up. Okay, 76.
75.
I got you. Okay, yeah. Let's say you 6. Right now. Oh, you actually in the person of year number 8 right now. How's that money coming along for you?
I think it's funny that you talked about the Libra and Capricorn being stingy, because from the time I was a child and I would get birthday money, I would give all of it away, and I would get scolded for it all the time. And I did that when I was married too. I'd get a little bit and I'd give it away, and my husband would be like, "You stop that!" And I'm like, but they needed it worse than I did.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You don't have anything. So I don't know where that comes from, but that's always been I just want to give it away. I don't know why.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And
So
you're actually you're in the 3-month. Right now, this month you're in the month number 3. But the personal year number 8, it's all about achievement, career recognition. Now's the time to do it. So like whatever you got on your mind to do, don't waste any time doing it. Like do it right now. You know what I mean? And just get it done. It's also a chance to achieve. This is a chance right now for you to achieve great things, like big, very big things, like something big. Whatever you got that you plan on achieving, like go big or go don't do it at all. Which I'm sure you will because you're a Capricorn. You're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time to gain. Well, it's not good to gain or lose weight. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, lose weight obviously is, you know, it's a good time to lose weight, but you can also gain weight during this time. This is also a time for you of very, you know, many new opportunities. In terms of romance, um, you know, it could be a romance from a long ago that you run into. You know what I'm saying? This could be a time for marriage or divorce. You know what I'm saying? During this 8 energy. Yeah, but like I say, in that 8 energy, this is a time for money and success. It's a time to be the boss or the authority. It's a time for recognition as a result of work. You know what I'm saying? So set large goals for yourself and kill it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah. So go ahead, do mine while we at it.
What you got, brother?
Stacy, Stacy,
Hold on 1 second. All right.
6/22/76.
Stacy Booker.
Yes.
All right, give me that birthday again.
6/22/76.
All right, 22. Close to my step pops.
Okay.
76.
Yes, sir.
All right. Alrighty. Let me find you. All right, brother. You're actually in a 7 year this year.
Okay.
Yep, and you definitely a destiny number 3. 33, 6. You know what I mean? I could even break down. I should have broke down your pinnacles, Phoenix, but I could break down your pinnacles, but on your daily forecast, you're in a personal year number 7 just as much as me. So it's probably a lot of isolation, probably a lot of spiritual growth. This is the reason why you be just as tapped in on the power circle just as much as I be. I'm trying to
Yep.
absorb all this shit, man. But it's a year of inner growth. You know what I mean? It's a year of inner discoveries. It's a time of reflection and meditation. Visualize what you want. You know what I mean? Whatever you got that you really seeking to obtain in your life, man. Hold that visualization of what you want, even if it's just something spiritual, just a certain level of spirituality that you're trying to reach. Just
Mhm.
hold that visualization and really meditate on it, and you know what I'm saying, you could really bring that into your life, or that feeling into your life, man. Listen to your internal voice, man. I know you're very intuitive
Mm.
just as much as I'm intuitive.
Yes.
And if you feel what you you know what I'm saying,
Right.
trust that. Trust that, man. Trust your intuition, man, this year. Be honest with yourself, you know what I'm saying, and others,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, of course. Don't push anything. 7 years, not a time to rush shit. Be patient. Be
Yes.
patient, fam, and grow through it. Grow through whatever you're going through. This is not a year, even though you're happily married. This is not a year for love and romance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you're going within.
Yes.
You're going
I'm spending
within
time with me.
yes,
Yeah.
man. Yes, man. And so in terms of like business, it's a deeper awareness of your skills,
Mm.
and it's also you like I said, you going within, so you recharging your batteries and
Yeah.
making sure that when you step into this year number 8 next year, you gonna be fully charged up, man, and you gonna get to the bag, bro. Your business is gonna grow and expand so much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Look at
yeah,
him.
man. Yeah, man. So like avoid, this year of as much as you can, bro, avoid major financial or domestic changes. You know what I'm saying? Just really just keep it on the humble
Man.
this year, bro. Keep it on the humble.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell a personal story. And
Talk to me.
if you want to tap in on this, but I gotta be transparent with the people, right? Because it's about learning, right? And giving. So the other day, So we'll go back. So me and Yaya been together 11 years. We got an anniversary coming up on the 21st of this month. So what? 2 days. Yeah. So
There'll be an anniversary coming up,
yeah.
right?
So for the majority of the time we've been together, she's gotten a lot of roses, diamonds, bracelets, watches, shoes. Man, I bought her so many shoes. I don't even know how many. I mean, man, right? So the other day we having a discussion on the patio. I don't know what we talking about, but she's like, oh, we're talking about one of her friends and her relationship. She was like, well, uh, I've just gone ahead and accepted that I'm not getting any more roses because it's been a while.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, see, what I'm trying to do. I said, man, forget the roses. I'm talking about, man, the whole 100 acres
You know what I'm
of
saying?
land.
Yeah, man.
I'm not focused on getting you roses this year.
Yeah,
I'm,
man.
I'm not. I'm focused, man. I'm focused on something so much bigger. And I had to go within me and just chill for a moment. I said,
Yeah.
yes, I love giving to you. Yes, I know. But right now, I have to dig deep within me
Yeah.
so I can give you more later.
Come
I
on,
have
man.
to do this.
Come on, man.
This just happened recently, bro. I just got to be transparent with the people. Like I'm human, like y'all, man. My marriage go through deep discussions, and just like y'all's, man. You know, I'm not gonna get on here in front.
Real
So it's
spill.
funny you said what you said because I was like, damn, that's where I'm at right now. I'm really experiencing that.
Real spill, bro.
Wow,
That's
bro.
7, man. That's that year number 7, a mud, bro. Like,
Wow,
trust me,
man.
man. It's a
And Lone
process.
Star, Lone Star. I'm telling you, bro. I can see it so clearly, man. I can see the harvest so clearly, like it's right there on the cusp.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can see it,
man.
man.
Trust me, I know, bro. That's why I'm trying. Listen, bro. That's why I'm trying to tell my Capricorn to hold tight, bro. Cause look, man, listen, bro. I know I look out of balance. I know I look like I ain't got it figured out. But listen, I know that I know that I know. And
Mm,
I'm a part of some amazing projects this year that I know is gonna change my life in so many ways. I just want her to be patient.
yes,
Just give me some time, bro. I
yes.
get
It's
it.
coming.
You know what
It's
I'm
coming.
saying? I
Yes.
get it. You know what I'm saying? I can
Right.
see it, but I'm fighting through the 7 year. I sat with her fighting through her 7 year. You know what I mean? Now she's in her 9 year, and it's all about completion. So
Yes.
she's completing a lot of cycles. I just hope I ain't that cycle. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
man.
But
Yeah, man.
that's your twin flame. Y'all work it out. Yeah.
Man, God willing.
Yeah.
God
Y'all work it
willing.
out. So man, I don't know how much longer you got, man. You know what you started that. We got two more people in the chat saying,
Man,
can
I'm
you
there. I got I
okay,
got I got Kerry, I got Tamarcus too.
okay. Go ahead and take a stab, brother, when you're ready.
Bet. Brother Tamarcus. You know what I'm saying? Brothers of Scorpio. I see. Let's see. I just put you in. Okay. Uh let's see. Okay, you're a destiny number 3. So you're a life path number 3, bro. Very, very childlike energy. You make friends very easy, just the same as Sister Yaya. Um But this year is man, that's interesting. You're in the person of year number 6. So this is all about harmony and balance, man. I don't know if you I know you just said you separated and you're single right now. But man, this is normally the year where you typically think about marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's a time for love. It's a time for building that foundation or having that foundation already set, because the 4 is about building the foundation. But having it set, the 6 is about having that family present. This is the time you need to be around friends. You need to be around family and be in the atmosphere of love, bro. So the 6 is all about it's all about creativity. It's about love, home, responsibility, man. Just being harmonious. This probably be the year you'll be in harmony with yourself and others. Um it's about taking joy in helping others. You know what I'm saying? Really just stepping outside of yourself and really just expressing how you feel on the inside, that balance and harmony that you feel on the inside, expressing it and showing it to others. It's not a time for buying cheap clothes, man. So get fresh, brother. You know what I'm saying? Get fresh if you can. In terms of like love, like I say, man, it's a time for love, it's a time for marriage, could be divorce, you know what I'm saying? Because if it ain't no harmony in it, no balance in it, it gotta go, you know what I'm saying? But it's a time to make better relationships overall. So focus on your home and your personal relationships, and make sure that everything is harmonious and balanced. You know what I'm saying? And really, that's the what this year is all about. The collective overall. It's about harmony and balance. This is the reason why people is getting out and being around people, man. Obviously, coronavirus forgot all the fuck about. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now everybody is out and they're enjoying themselves. And I just went to Dreamville Fest, so I'm in a crowd amongst a bunch of people, and we're all enjoying ourselves. That's harmony and balance, and everybody is in that space and in that energy, man. And it's like I say, it's mighty funny how those energies of the year, like the years, the universal year numbers work, man. Because like even when the pandemic happened, we was in a year 4, and it's mighty funny how in 2020 this was the rebuilding of whatever the fuck is gonna come for the new come for the future. So the 4 energy is all about building. It's all about structure. You know what I mean? Like this is like that's why a lot of life path number 4s are like very they're into that. They're into building, man. They're in the structure. They're in the togetherness of or organization. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that was interesting that during the pandemic, man, when everything was about rebuilding, you know what I'm saying? Or you'll see a lot of business or whatever was going on in the universe, it was rebuilding into whatever this is.
Yeah.
And the 5 energy it's kind of free flowing and you know what I'm saying, is getting back into it. But now that it's into the harmony is here. You know
Hell
what
yeah.
I mean? So yeah, man.
Wow, man. That's man. What you think, King, brother King? So we got Carrie White.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. I got you, Carrie. Okay, Carrie White. Okay. Libra, September 1992. All right. Okay. So your life path number 2. A very nurturing person, very kind person, I'm assuming. This is the motherly energy. In terms of your personal year number, no problem, fam. No problem. But in terms of you, Carrie, you're in the personal year number 5. So this is probably it's probably the most fun time in your life because 5 is, like I say, it's outside of that structure. So like it's more free flowing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about fun, it's about movement, it's about freedom, changing shit at the drop of a dime, you know what I mean? Like new opportunities may arise for you in this year number 5. Um you can also get a second chance in certain stuff that you felt like you should have got a second chance in. You can get a second chance in that, to redo some certain things over. It's also a time for mental and physical alertness. I mean, your mental and physical alertness will be on point during this time. um, developing talents. What things do you want to do? Stuff that you're into that you can tap into and develop it. You know what I'm saying during this time that'll be fun for you to grow into. Um, During this year number 5, it's definitely in terms of sleeping. Uh, you could probably have problems with insomnia in your year number 5. So I don't know if you're having problems with sleeping right now. I remember in my year number 5, I definitely couldn't get a lot of sleep, man. I maybe get like 3 hours of sleep. I was just, all over the place, man. Um, but yeah, during year number 5, be very careful in love because it's increased sexual attraction. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Especially during this fun time because shit, you just out there having fun, man. So you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
That's
drop
that 5. That's
drop
that 5.
up.
Yeah, that's that 5 energy, but in business, it's also a time for making great changes. It's easy for you to sell ideas during this time in the 5 energy. So if you got any projects that you working on and you want to put it out on the market and sell it, make sure that you do that. You know what I'm saying? Finish what you start and watch it grow.
Wow. Wow. It's powerful, brother. You should
Hmm.
feel really good, Karen. It's a good year for you. Good
Big
time.
facts. Big facts. Year number 5 is good.
Very good. Wow. Wow, brother. But man, Lone Star, brother, I did not expect this, but this was a joyful, pleasant surprise, brother. I had no idea you were gifted and passionate about that, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
guess we don't talk about that in the power circle. So yeah, so I'm glad you tapped in, man. I learned something about you.
Yeah, man. I really don't be want to. I
And I
really don't be.
understand. I,
I
I
really don't be
understand.
want to tap into that side, but
Yeah,
because you don't want people to kind of look at you, you know,
yeah,
different because not everybody is into that. I remember I didn't gave a lot of people readings, man, and I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, nigga.
right.
Like, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
not everybody take to that, man.
yeah. And I feel you because just being a protective Cancer, I told Yaya to not post anything about the Zodiacs on Facebook. That's it, yeah. Facebook, that ain't for that.
Yeah.
IG cool, TikTok cool, but Facebook, hey man, I don't want nobody attacking my wife, man. I try to find your IP address, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to avoid that, just leave Facebook alone when it comes to that. Don't
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
don't do it because I know how people are. And
Yeah, it's a
so
lot of Bible thumping on
right,
Facebook, bro.
exactly. So yeah, let's just avoid that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But I appreciate you, brother. I really
man,
do,
no
man.
doubt. No
I
doubt,
really do.
man.
Man, we're
No
gonna
doubt.
close out. Actually, that's all we had. The last thing, since we're all here, um, the last topic was remembering why we're here, but we covered that. We already covered that. And so I just want to leave with some words, and I want you two to leave with some words too. So I go first. Um, Everybody, all the tools are out here for you to be successful.
Hmm.
Everything, the books our ancestors left, our inner compass, what the brother Lone Star just shared, the zodiac, the cosmos, the constellations. It's to guide you to make this journey pleasurable, fun. And you will have some disappointments. You will run into some roadblocks. It's okay. It's okay. It's part of the process. That's all I got. What you got, Lone Star? And we're gonna end it with Pheonix. What you got, brother?
Man. All I can really say, man, is just make sure that y'all living in y'all authentic, power, standing in y'all authentic power. Be true to your authentic selves, man. Trust yourselves. Um, love on yourselves, man. Always tap into that self care, man, and trust. Know thyself, man. Know thyself. Um, but yeah, man, that's it, man. And if y'all want to like really like dive in on onto that knowledge, man, like I say, This is one of the books that I really love, man. I tapped into. Shout out to Lloyd Strayhorn. That's where I really got into numerology and understanding astrology and all of that stuff from him and King Simon, man. And I really just delved down the path of just understanding it, man. But yeah, man, in the words of Russell Simmons, man, thank everybody for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Yeah, yeah. Follow Lone Star on IG and YouTube. Man, his brother's talented. Man, he's really talented. We're gonna hook up. He's in my hometown, and so we're gonna hook up.
For sure, bro.
Lead us out. Lead us out, Pheonix.
Well, I've enjoyed it a lot. I've learned a lot tonight, but I would just say again, like what we were talking about earlier, as you're going through these things, try to release the blockages within you, try to release the resistance, and just let it flow. Like what Lone Star said, we've got all these different years, these different things, and of course we're gonna hit blocks if they're still in us, which we all have blocks. We're always gonna have them, and it's like you can have something that you're trying to get to a goal, and you're coming up against this block, but you just have to kind of try to lay all your preconceived ideas down and just kind of let it flow. That's all I have to say. That's kind of what I've experienced, and I still have to keep learning that. I know that.
Yes. Be water. Be like water. Bruce Lee. Hey, as always, love. Peace.
Peace.